has 8. So very young teams.
All right, we've got 8:57 to go in the first. Just on their own side of midfield are the Yulee Hornets. It is once again Lee in the backfield, 1 running back to his right, 3 wide receivers. He rolls out to the right side of the field, throws it into first down territory. That's a catch by Clayton Walden, and a first down for the Yulee Hornets as they move the ball here on their opening possession on offense.
Yeah, 3 straight passes. Should have been 3 completions, but Clayton Walden will be their sort of go-to. Not overly fast, runs really good routes. Coach Flagler said he really likes the kid. He's sort of the glue guy on their team. He can do a lot of things.
Takes it down to the 40-yard line of Fernandina Beach. That's a gain of 16 for Yulee as they continue their march here on the opening possession. And Lee is under center, ready to take the snap motion there for the tight end. Lee takes the snap. This time it's a handoff to number 5, Kamari Barksdale. Gets around 1 tackle, getting to the near side, and finally pushed out of bounds by number 3, Josiah Rawls. But a big gainer again for Yulee as they continue to move the ball down the field here on this opening possession. They will mark this one, it looks like about the 22-yard line for a gain of 18 for the Yulee Hornets.
Yeah, that's a really good run. He'll be the workhorse, and he's done a really good job last year as a freshman, and Coach will be feeding him a little bit more. Barksdale, number 5. As we get going, I think, they're going to try to lean on him a little bit, I think, here now. They got too many on the field.
Yeah, you're only allowed to have 11. Pretty
Yep.
sure that's the rule there.
Now they have 10. I think they're missing one.
Doing some quick math.
You said you were the math guy earlier.
I am the math guy. You think you got me covered here. All right, here is Lee dropping back. He's throwing deep to the far side, and it is incomplete. Nice defense back there by number 2, Khalil Marquez, able to get back there and play that cornerback position nicely as he was defending number 9 for Yulee, Devon Littlejohn, who is not that little.
No, again, it's a pretty good idea what they're trying to do. Fernandina, you prepare all week trying to take away the run and this and that. The coach throws a little wrinkle early on. A little game in the game, as you would say as the coach, playing a little game in the game.
All right, so that sets up a 2nd down and 10 now from the 23-yard line. Just under 8 minutes to go here in this first quarter of a scoreless matchup. You're watching our ESPN 690 game of the week between the Yulee Hornets and Fernandina Beach Pirates. Kyle Lee once again under center, but before the snap, we've got a whistle.
Yeah, it looks like we got a little false start there. Sent the guy in motion. One of the linemen, I think, flinched a little bit. And that'll happen early in the first couple weeks. It drives the coaches crazy. But, it happens early. They're trying to move some motion around, see if they're playing man or zone. Yulee's doing a nice job of mixing up formations and everything, too.
So our first penalty of the game goes against Yulee, 5 yards. Sets up a 2nd down and 15 now from their own 28-yard line. As they break the huddle, Yulee in the white. If you're watching our video stream, of course, you can catch that on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, just about anywhere that does video streams. Lee this time in the shotgun has Barksdale to his left. He drops back looking to pass. This one to the far side is caught. It is Walden who makes the catch, and he is right at the sticks and past the sticks. That's going to be a first down for Yulee.
Yeah, good job by Walden know exactly where the first down is, break that route out about 11 yards, make the catch. Good hands, good ball on that one, and they're moving the chains.
All right, so Yulee now into the red zone. Going to have a 1st and 10 at about the 12 or 13-yard line and a chance to take the lead here on their opening possession. As the Yulee Hornets taking on the Fernandina Beach Pirates here on our ESPN 690 game of the week. It'll be Lee once again in the shotgun with Barksdale to his left. Motion man is Sanchez Alberti. He goes out to the right side. 4 wide receiver set here. Drops back, looks to pass, completes it to Alberti, who goes for the pylon, and they're going to mark him just short at the 1-yard line. I saw you put your hands in the air.
Yeah, I thought he was in. It looked like he stretched the ball from our view, but, we can't see that very well. We got North Florida Officials Association tonight. Does a lot of games on this side of town, not only here, Duval, Nassau, St. John's, and Clay.
Certainly sets up a good situation here for Yulee as they now have a 1st and goal from about the 1-yard line. We'll see if they're able to punch it in as Lee is under center. Here comes the snap. Lee hands it off. It goes to Barksdale. He goes around the left end and just walks right into the end zone. We do have a late flag that comes in. We'll have to wait on calling this a touchdown until we find out what this flag was on.
Yeah, again, a little outside zone play. We run into the left. I'm not sure if it was the wide out or the tight end. Now, I'll tell you, nothing like that kills the coaches more, especially if it's the wide out holding the ball on the 1 yard line. You know, they don't give the name and number in high school. Not here. Some places they do.
Yeah.
But not here tonight.
Well, it is a 10-yard penalty against Yulee, so no touchdown. And they'll set up 1st and goal now, but instead of being right on the 2-yard line, actually they're going to take them back since it was a spot foul, all the way back to the 13-yard line. So we'll see how they line up. They're going to put 4 wides once again. It's been working so far. Let's do it again. Lee in the shotgun. Barksdale to his left. 2 wide receivers on each side as Lee takes the snap. Drops back. He's got heavy pressure coming, and down he goes. Willie Coleman there with the initial pressure, but it is number 3, Josiah Rawls, who gets in there and gets a good piece of Lee, taking him down for the sack.
Yeah, it looked like Fernandina decided, hey, we're not going to sit back and play, and we're going to come get you now. If you're going to come up and throw it, we're going to come after you a little bit. And they came there, and they didn't block him at all.
All right, so that ends up being a loss of about 5 for Yulee. Now 2nd and goal from all the way back at the 18. Coach drives going the wrong way.
Yeah, going the wrong way, and the inside guys did a really nice job. The Fernandina down guys did a really good job to create the lanes for the blitz and linebackers.
All right, under 6 minutes to go in the first quarter of a scoreless game. 2nd and goal from the 18 for Yulee. Lee in the shotgun takes the snap. He's on the run again, having to roll out to the right, and he's throwing it away. And that is thrown away as he was under extreme duress. About 5 blue jerseys chasing him down.
Yeah, they got a little 4 wide there. It looks like they were running a little vertical, and then they try to get the back up the seam.
All right, we're going to take a quick break as we've reached the first water break of the first quarter. We'll be right back on our ESPN 690 Game of the Week.
WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
Homegrown and ready to help the home team look good on Friday nights and every night in any sport, Baker Sports has been doing just that since 1997. Your team experts offer the top brands like Under Armour and Adidas. Screen print, embroidery, and trophies all done in-house right here in Jacksonville. Baker Sports will get you ready for your big game. Looking good so you can play good. Play ball with your team experts at Baker Sports.
And welcome back to the ESPN 690 Game of the Week. And we are happy to be up here in Nassau County tonight as the Yulee Hornets are taking on the Fernandina Beach Pirates. Yulee with the ball. They have a 3rd and goal, but it's from the 18-yard line. Kyle Lee, the quarterback, takes the snap. He drops back. He's looking to the near side. Number 21 is down there. And they're going to say incomplete pass as he was targeting his wide receiver, Zachary Drawdy, but unable to complete that connection. And that will bring up a 4th down and a decision for Coach Flagler.
Oh, he's going to come in. He's got a really good field goal kicker, Gabe Shiver, real strong leg, long last year, a 47. He said last week he just missed at 55, so he feels pretty good about his leg. But we got to give a little shout-out to the defensive line for Fernandina.
Absolutely.
Posetti, the defensive end, number 84, did a real nice job pressuring. Tyler Harris, 53, and 64, Lawrence Williams.
All right, wind's whipping a little bit here. 5.5 minutes to go in the first quarter, and as you mentioned, it will be Gabe Shiver in to attempt the field goal, setting up for, looks like a 35-yard field goal, but looks like Fernandina might have jumped a little early there. This might end up being 5 yards shorter.
5 yards shorter.
Make it a little easier on the kid, right?
We'll take it.
Yeah.
We'll take it.
And I'm sure that is what the Yulee coaches on the sideline are thinking, as Shiver's leg won't be tested quite nearly as much.
There's a little wind blowing in
there
his face.
There is certainly a little bit of a wind. We can feel it up here in the press box. Of course, Hurricane Dorian on its way. I don't think any of this is from Dorian quite yet.
No, not yet.
Still about 5 days out. Here is the snap, the set, and the kick is up. And no good is
wide
the call.
Left.
They're going to say wide left for Shiver's field goal attempt. So after we brag on the kicker out there, he is unable to convert for the game's first points. That means Fernandina Beach will take over here in the first quarter of a scoreless game. They'll get the ball Looks like they're going to give it to them right at their own 20-yard line.
Yeah, before we get a second here, I was talking to Coach Swearinger a little bit earlier, and he said the one thing that he wants people to know is that they dedicated themselves to trying to develop their football program here on Amelia Island. They've worked closely with the youth football, the middle school guys and everything to try to get this thing back, get this program back turned into a winner.
All right, so Fernandina Beach now with their second possession of the ball game. As Cam Miller is once again the quarterback. He's running to his left, now cuts back inside, finally gets swarmed by a bunch of Hornets after about a gain of 2 or 3 for the Fernandina Beach Pirates here in the first quarter.
Yeah, it's going to get a lot of quarterback runs. That's just quarterback power off the edge. They're pretty much down blocking, use the up back. Chase Boyd is the lead blocker and trying to get him on the edge. But again, 34 running downhill, middle linebacker for Yulee. Doing a nice job. He's probably got 3 or 4 tackles. Antonio Parks.
And this team having to kind of adjust a little bit with Cam Miller as the quarterback for this game. Original starter went down with an injury a week ago. So it brings up a 2nd and about 6. The snap is mishandled. Cam's just going to have to fall on it, take the medicine there. It ends up being a loss of about 9 as Yulee able to get back there quickly. The bad snap results in a big loss and sets up a 3rd down and long.
Yeah, this is going to be just losing the quarterback last week and having Cam came in. I watched a little film on Fernandina, and he came in. I thought he was just going to be the Wildcat quarterback. And then when I talked to Coach Swearinger, he said that they lost Jackson Mock, and so he had to go there full time.
And these things do happen in high school football. It's all about adjusting on the fly. Just over 4 minutes left in this first quarter. Cam in the shotgun once again rolls out to his right. He's going to keep it, but there in the backfield is Tajon Thomas, number 4 for the Yulee Hornets, and that's going to set up a punting situation for the Pirates.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be 4th and about 16, and not getting much going, you know. I think they were trying to roll out to throw that ball right there, but I tell you, Yulee, they're sort of manning them up, and they're daring them to try to throw it. They didn't do a very good job last week, so I think that's the game plan, force them to throw the ball.
All right, so we have 3 minutes and 23 seconds to go in the first quarter. Still scoreless in this one. It is, once again, number 18, Phil Tita, back for the punting duties for the Pirates as he receives the snap. Puts it on his foot, able to get it off before Thomas was able to get back there. Nice little punt, had a good roll. Picking it up is Sanchez Alberti getting to the right side. He's got some blockers, but trips just on the 40-yard line of Fernandina Beach. They'll give him a couple extra yards and mark it down at the 38.
Yeah, it looked like about an 18-yard return, and his sort of feet got moving a little faster and tripped over them right there. We used to call that the sniper from the
sniper got him, that's right. It wasn't us.
No, not us.
Not us. Must have been a different one. So, nice return there by Alberti, one of the Albertis on this squad. As there are under 3 minutes to go in the first quarter, Yulee able to take over possession, have the short field now. Let's see if they're able to take advantage of it. They got all the way down to the 1-yard line on this last drive, but weren't able to punch it in. As they stick with their same quarterback from the first drive, that's Kyle Lee. He is under center to start, fullback in motion. Here is the handoff to Barksdale. Barksdale cuts back out to the right side, but he's met by that line after a gain of about 5, and Rainer Richardson able to take him down, the defensive end for the Fernandina Beach Pirates.
Yeah, just a little off-tackle power play, and he sort of bended back on that and picked up about 4 or 5 right there, make it good second and manageable.
Second and manageable. The clock continues to run in the first quarter. We do appreciate everyone joining us here on the ESPN 690 Game of the Week as Yulee and Fernandina Beach meet up. Cars still coming into the parking lot. This place is packed. Everyone is excited to be out here tonight. There's a little motion. Here's the handoff from Lee to Barksdale, this time around the left end, cuts back into the center. Finally taken down by Hampton Tanner, but that's going to be enough for a first down. Pickup of about 10 yards there for the running back.
Yeah, really nice job right there by the fullback, 31, Daryl Young. He moves him in motion, gets up on the edge, gets a nice block on the outside linebacker, and Barks will be able to take it out, stick his foot in the ground, get north and south, get the first down.
Mentioned how packed it is out here.
Yeah, they're 10, 20 deep trying to get in still.
I'm telling you, it's that quick start. Catch you off guard. So here is Lee once again under center for Yulee. They are in the white jerseys, yellow helmets. Hands off to Barksdale. Barksdale looking up the middle. He cuts back into the left side, gets a couple extra yards, able to get it up past the first down marker. That's going to be a gain of about 12, and yet another first down for Barksdale in this Yulee offense.
Yeah, Latrell Whitehurst, the corner, made that tackle as he took him down there. He would have scored on that one. Not bad up in there, keeping his eyes up, doing a good job. The big guys up front getting a little movement, and just giving him a little crease to find it.
All right, so 1st and 10, just outside the goal to go situation there, right at the 11-yard line. Here is Lee under center once again. He has Barksdale in the backfield. This time he's going to throw it, though. He drops back under pressure, rolls out to the right side, being chased down by Richardson, still getting chased out, finally throws it up to the back of the end zone, but just out of the reach of his wide receiver. And that's going to be an incompletion, setting up 2nd down and 10.
Yeah.
Just outside the 11-yard line.
Being chased by Rainier Richardson, 53, the defensive end, pursuing, doing a good job of getting some push in there.
That was Jeremiah Guidries, his intended receiver in the back of the end zone. Not bad, not a play that can really hurt you when you're in that situation. You got the tallest guy out there.
Right.
Throw it to him in the back of the end zone. If it goes out, it goes out. If he catches it, you got a touchdown.
So our guy's the only guy that can catch it, so that's a really good job by the quarterback.
That's it. We are under 1 minute to go in this first quarter. Still scoreless between the Hornets and the Pirates, as Yulee threatening for the 2nd time tonight. First drive ended in a missed field goal. This one, we'll see. 2nd down and 10, just outside the 11. Here is Lee dropping back, takes a pass, and it's caught. It's a touchdown. Clayton Walden with the score for the Yulee Hornets as they take the lead 6-0 in the first quarter.
Really good play design. They brought the fullback in motion and ran him out in the flat. And they were just running basically flat slant, and it was outside linebacker ran. Walden did a nice job on the route, run really good route, balls on the money, caught, touchdown.
That's how you draw it up.
That's how you try to draw it up.
That's how you try to draw it up, that's for sure. So first score of the game goes to the visitors, the Yulee Hornets, as they now set up for the extra point attempt. Gabe Shiver, who missed that first field goal, will try to get a little bit of redemption here and make it 7-0. Snap is down, kick is up, and it is good. 7-0 is your score with 39.8 seconds to go in this first quarter, as it's Yulee who strikes first blood. And Coach, everything they were doing on offense on that drive just seemed to work. They were able to just move that thing right down the field, although they did start on the short field, only had to go 40 yards for the touchdown.
Yeah, short field help, but I thought they did a good job of mixing up. You know, they got to get Barksdale going a little bit and getting the O-line moving guys a little bit, and they did that on that drive. They were able to get 6, 8, 10 chunks and then come off and throw the pass for the touchdown. So really good play call and really good mixing it up over there for the Yulee and Coach Flagler.
Big thanks to, of course, our sponsors, including Mr. Chubby's Wings. You want the best wings in town, Mr. Chubby's Wings is the place to go. 2 locations, one on the west side, one in Fleming Island. Bring the family on Mondays to the Fleming Island location for 50-cent wings, Coach. That's one heck of a deal.
I like it.
I mean, shoot, that's, $5 for 10 wings. See, I'm the math guy.
I like it. You are a math guy.
That's what we're doing here on our ESPN 690 Game of the Week. As we said, Mr. Chubby's Wings, one of our great sponsor. So Shiver now ready to kick off from his own 40. Here's the approach and the kick as he boots this one deep into the night. And Cam Miller back there unable to get the first handle on it, but eventually gets it. And he's got a crease. He's going.
Job.
Finally, the jersey grab there is just enough in order to wrangle him down. Nice job there by number 17.
Marquise Floyd.
Marquise Floyd able to save what would have been a touchdown, assuming Shiver wasn't able to make the tackle on Miller. You never know.
You never know.
You never know. The kicker might have got him, but great job there by Floyd in order to get that tackle.
Yeah, what happens, he bobbled the snap and bobbled the kick, and a lot of times when they bobble the kick, everybody sort of like runs to it, and then he picks it up and gets a crease, and they get out of their running lanes, the kickoff team.
That's why you need good, sound, fundamental special teams, Coach.
Yes, sir.
That is the key. All right, so Cam Miller back in the shotgun for the Pirates. He is your quarterback with Chase Boyd to his left. Here's the handoff to Boyd. He goes to his right side. Has a nice little bit of room, but only able to pick up about 4 yards on that play as Yulee able to close quickly.
Tejon Thomas
able to get in there. It looked like Boyd had a lot more space, and then all those white jerseys just closed right in on him.
Yeah, good pursuit running to the ball right there. The safety's coming downhill, getting some help by the inside linebacker.
All right, so We have a whistle blow because that is the end of the first quarter. It is 7-0 Yulee. We're going to take a quick timeout here. When we come back, the second quarter of action. Fernandina Beach taking over at their own 39-yard line. That is coming up next right here on the ESPN 690 Game of the Week.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio.
I think Carson Wentz is going to come back and have a resurgent year.
Are you not concerned at all with the lack of depth at quarterback position? They had to rely a lot on Nick Foles. Carson Wentz gets hurt every year.
Not every year.
Go Lick and Wingo, weekdays from 6 to 10 a.m. on ESPN 690.
Honda of the Avenues is Sing Zeros. 0 down payment, 0 first payment, and 0 security deposit. This month, sign and drive a new Accord LX for just $269 a month with 0 do-it signing. Or buy with 0% financing at Honda of the Avenues, the Honda Giant.
2019 Accord LX, $269 a month for 36 months, plus tax, title, and registration, with approved credit through AHFC. Lessees responsible for 15 cents per mile over 12,000 miles per year. 0% for 24 to 60 months on all 2019 Accords. 5% down, plus tax, tag, and fees. Valid on in-stock units only. See dealer for details. Offers end 9/3/2019.
And welcome back to our ESPN 690 Game of the Week. We jump right back into game action. Cam Miller around the left side, taken down by Andrew Fozzie. That is a sack and a loss of about 4 yards. Sets up a 3rd down and 10 early here in the second quarter. Nice job there by Fozzie to get into the backfield.
Yeah, Fozzie's got down there, followed the pulling guards, and sort of knifed down in and ran him down from behind.
So it's Miller again in the shotgun. Boyd to his right. 4 wide receivers. Both teams running that offensive set so far here tonight. Miller drops back, looking to pass, looking for options. He rolls out to his left. Flag is thrown. Might be a holding. Gets it off to Boyd, but it's probably going to come back an extra 10 yards here in the end. And that is the call. It will be holding on the offense. We'll see if they decide to decline it. They do. And that forces 4th down and 10. Fernandina Beach will have to punt the ball away once again.
Yeah, I'll tell you, the outside linebacker for Yulee did a really nice job. 25, Darius Lumpkin. They sort of tried to run a little flare with the back up through the inside of the line and sneak him out. And he sat right there and played it. And he was going to throw it, and then he stopped and saw it, and then he had to scramble around. Then they got holding, and now they're punting again.
It'll be Phil Tita out for his 3rd punt of the game. Probably not a great sign if you're a supporter of Fernandina Beach that your punter is already out there for the 3rd time early in the second quarter. Just 11 minutes left in this first half. Here is the snap. The punt is away. Nice little punt there, and puts it towards the sideline too. That's the best part because Yulee can't make a return. We do have a flag down on the play. I'm not sure what that one's for.
I think she might have got
Wrong
confused
one.
thinking it was a kickoff instead of the punt.
That's right. So it will be
35-yard punt there.
There you go. So it'll be Yulee ball, 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line with 11 minutes to go in the second quarter. You're right. You're thinking of kickoff because it was such a nice punt.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Good
she might have
been
throwing the beanbag to see where it went out of bounds and grabbed the flag, and that happens early on. They're still getting into game action, the officials.
All right, so Yulee now back on offense, and this time we have a new quarterback. It's Jared Baker. As mentioned, we're going to get a couple different quarterback looks here from the Yulee Hornets in this game. In this case, it is Baker who's going to now start under center, drops back to the shotgun. He's going to motion across his tight end as a fullback as well. Here's the handoff to Barksdale. Barksdale looks right, then cuts back to the left. He's got a lot of room, though. Taking down Josiah Rawls. Nice job there, able to wrangle down Barksdale, who had a lot of green grass in front of him, Coach.
Yeah, I thought he did a good job cutting back. I thought he should have stayed with the blocks a little bit and sort of stuck it in the ground and went north and south to the end zone. But some of those backs, you don't sort of tell them, you sort of teach them how to read it and how to run it. So that you don't, I always said, you don't tell the backs how to run. You just get them in and let them see different things. So that's a good teaching point, especially if it's an end zone copy for the young man.
All right, so that sets down a 2nd down and short. Just 1 yard to go here for the Yulee Hornets at their own 39-yard line. Baker getting his first look at the offense as quarterback after Kyle Lee led a successful touchdown drive in the first quarter. Here is Baker now. Hands it off again to Barksdale. Barksdale back up the middle. Doesn't get a lot, but it's going to be enough for the 1st down. Picks up about 3 yards. It'll set up a 1st and 10 for the Yulee Hornets with 10 minutes to go in the second quarter.
Yeah, Fernandina brought the blitzer that time. but the middle linebacker parks off the edge, sort of tried to get in the gaps on the short down, and they've got a couple of good-sized kids up inside Fernandina. It looks like 75 Bernie Coleman in there, big wide-body kid, and 78 Nehemiah Sharper. A couple of youngsters also in there, freshmen. Sharper's a freshman.
All right, so Baker now again under center with Barksdale in the backfield. He's been the go-to guy for the Yulee Hornets so far in this game. Man in motion, and that's the handoff. It goes to number 5, Barksdale. He cuts back around the near side, makes one man miss, still inbounds, still moving, finally gets dragged down. And that's number 23, able to make the tackle. Demarion Bryan finally wrangles down. Actually, that was number 6, excuse me, not 5. 6 making the run there. Jalen Holmes.
Yeah, coach real high on Holmes. Said he's a very good athlete, 10th grader, smart kid, real good player, can do a lot of different things for him on offense and defense. Yes. Little jet sweep action there.
Little jet sweep. Works it to perfection. That's a big gainer there. Sets up now a 1st and 10 on the 31-yard line of Fernandina Beach. So Yulee into Pirates territory and threatening to extend this lead. They lead 7-0 with 8.5 to go in the second quarter. Here is Baker under center. Hands it off again to Barksdale. Barksdale going left. Nice blocking out there on that left side. And looks like we do have a flag in the secondary. We'll see what the call is, but depending on what happens with the call,
I think it's going to be...
might be on Yulee. Looks like the referees are asking for the chain gang to take a second here.
They just, one of the offensive linemen for Yulee was complaining that his helmet got ripped off, and that's what it was right where the flag was thrown. So I thought it might have been hands to the face on the defense, but it was holding again.
All right, so holding will back things up for the Yulee Hornets. Let's see how far they go back. They're at the, okay, so it was from the spot of the foul.
Right.
Brings them right back to the line of scrimmage, so kind of acts like nothing ever happened.
Except it's still first down.
Still first down, yep. Mm-hmm. Still a first down here for the Yulee Hornets at the 30-yard line.
Yeah, that's a spot foul, the holding. So he got 10 yards, and then they got the hold thrown, and then it backs up.
Yep.
Timeout.
All right, so Yulee going to take a timeout here with 8:09 to play in the second quarter. They lead 7-0, and they're on to their second quarterback, but it's really been Barksdale has been the story of this game and his ability to run it.
Yeah, and I think the offensive line, and they're young. They've got one senior, the right tackle, 75, if I'm not mistaken.
Zachary Hannaford.
Yep, he's the only lone senior, only returning starter, and so they're sort of getting on him, leaning on. But again, Barksdale doesn't need a lot. He needs a little bit of a crease. If they can just get a little bit of movement, not give up penetration, I think he's going to always get positive yards. I think Fernandina's starting to pick it up a little bit, and I think they need to start picking up the blitz a little bit. So they're not sure. To me, it looks like they want to play the run. They came out throwing, and they backed off on the blitz stuff. So they've come back on the blitz here and been successful, so maybe they'll come back to it.
Of course, Cameron Jordan contributing, Brendan Black contributing, Gavin Jones, all on that offensive line and paving a way for Barksdale to really do the damage in this matchup as Jared Baker is once again under center. 1st and 10 at the 30. Fullback in motion, goes to the right side now, ready to block for Barksdale, and that's what he's going to do. Nice little cutback by Barksdale, but a couple of Fernandina Beach Pirates able to hold and get right after him.
Yeah, it looked like Hampton Tanner in there, one of the D tackles, a junior defensive tackle in there, mixing it up. And Pozzetta, defensive end senior. Not many seniors on either one of these teams. So these guys, of course, they've grown up probably with each other, played in the Pop Warners against each other. And now they go to their schools. Hopefully they're going to schools they're supposed to go to. And, and now they get to mix it up here. They're probably not a lot of seniors. These guys are going to know each other for a bunch of years.
So that's a gain of 4 for Yulee. Sets up a 2nd down and 6. You might notice us saying some of the same names for Fernandina Beach. A lot of guys playing both ways for the Pirates on this occasion. Here is Baker, takes the snap, hands it off. This is a new running back in the backfield. He is putting some moves on that defense. Finally taken down. Big hit there by Hampton Tanner, one of those two-way players. Looks like that was number 8 back there, if I am seeing correctly. Dragati Wilcox, if I was seeing the number correctly. Might have been, yeah, it looks like it was 8. So yeah. Wilcox able to pick up a nice gainer there, sets up a 1st down at the 16-yard line now. So that's about a gain of 10 and a 1st down for the Yulee Hornets.
Yeah, that was a really good run in there. He stayed up in on the blocks and got his pads leveled down and ran hard. That's a good run. That's a good spell guy for Barksdale.
All right, so now we have a 1st and 10 from the 16-yard line. It is Baker under center, going left to right. If you're watching our video streams, here is the handoff. Once again, it is to 8. Wilcox gets to the left side, gets around the defense, and into the end zone. Touchdown, Yulee Hornets. Jergati Wilcox able to take it in for the score from 16 yards out, and a touchdown for the visitors.
I'll tell Devon Littlejohn, the wideout, did a really nice job of pinning the corner in on that. So when he turned the corner, there wasn't nobody there because he did a good job blocking. So that's a really good effort play right there. Littlejohn helping downfield. He's not getting the ball, but he's going to try to get his guy in the end zone.
So that touchdown makes it 13-0 for the Yulee Hornets with 6:27 to play in the second quarter. It'll be, once again, Gabe Shiver setting up for the extra point. The snap is down, kick is up, and it is good. So 14-0 is our score in the second quarter, midway through, 6.5 minutes to go. Fernandina Beach really needs to get some offense going here, Coach, in order to get back into this game.
Yeah, they most definitely do. And again, we knew going in with having the new quarterback having to start for the injured Jackson Mock that they were going to struggle a little bit offensively. Coach is probably going to just stay on the game plan and try to get them moving and get them going. But Yulee now, they're going to start teeing off a little bit defensive. But I wanted you to notice one thing on the extra point. The holder is the middle linebacker, number 34, Antonio Parks. Now, you don't see that very often. I have to go back a little bit. We've used our running back, and you've used your quarterbacks, and some guys use their punters and everything, but middle linebacker.
All right. Very wide skill set needed for those two positions.
Yes, sir. It's important. Could be the difference of winning and losing.
That'd be like me being a basketball player and 5'7". It wouldn't work both ways most of the time. Some guys can do it. Those who can shoot the ball very well, unlike me. Beautiful night, by the way, up here in Fernandina Beach. Had a little rain earlier in the day, but most of that has cleared out, knock on wood, for the rest of this game. As the Yulee Hornets get set to kick it off, it is Shiver once again. 2 men back deep to receive, including Chase Boyd. That's where the ball is headed, but it's a nice deep kick into the end zone, and they will take it back.
So you like that rule on high school? You know, I talked to coaches about that ball. If you kick it into the end zone, you know it's dead, and a lot of guys don't like it. A lot of guys said, hey, if you got a kid that can kick it, and he can kick it in the end zone, and I could field it 2 or 3 yards in, and give me a chance to run out if you want to. Now I know there'll be some high school coaches. Are you kidding me? I don't want that kid running that long. They'll be 9 yards deep trying to run it out.
Well, 99 yards, of course, the maximum you can get for a kickoff return. Let's take a break. We're taking the water break here in the second quarter. A little hydration for the student-athletes down there. 14-0 is your score for the Yulee Hornets. We'll be right back on your ESPN 690 Game of the Week.
Ryan O'Halloran from the Denver Post, beat writer for the Broncos.
But maybe Cam need that little bit of kicking the rear end, because over a 48-hour span where Doug is saying probably not for Kansas City, and all of a sudden he's out there with a helmet.
Action Sports Jacks weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. on ESPN 690.
Honda of the Avenues is Sing Zeros. 0 down payment, 0 first payment, and 0 security deposit this month. Sign and drive a new Accord LX for just $269 a month with 0 do-it signing, or buy with 0% financing at Honda of the Avenues, the Honda Giant.
2019 Accord LX, $269 a month for 36 months, plus tax, title, and registration with approved credit through AHFC. Lessee's responsible for 15 cents per mile over 12,000 miles per year. 0% for 24 to 60 months on all 2019 Accords. 5% down, plus tax, tag, and fees. Valid on in-stock units only. See dealer for details. Offers end 9/3/2019.
And welcome back to the ESPN 690 Game of the Week. The cheers you hear are for Chase Boyd, running back for the Fernandina Beach Pirates, able to pick up a huge gainer on the first play, a 55-yard run on that first play of the offensive possession. Coming out of the water break, they drank the water very quickly.
Yeah, Fernandina needed that big play. That's probably the most yards they've had in this game going all together the first 3 possessions. So that was a good run by him.
No doubt. And Boyd, of course, gets a well-deserved breather here after that 55-yard run. So Josiah Rawls comes in as your running back. 5:43 to play in the second quarter. Down 14-0, but now at the 25-yard line of Yulee is Fernandina Beach. 1st and 10. Here's the snap. to Miller. Miller up the middle now, breaks the tackle, breaks through another spot, and he's going to get inside the 15, down to about the 13-yard line. That is a gain of 12 and a 1st and 10 for the Fernandina Beach Pirates.
Yeah, look, really good design play, little nice zone read. He fakes the ball to the running back and takes it right back up into the middle of the line, what we would call the B gap. And they did a good job of blocking it, getting a guy up there, and a nice little run.
All right, so 1st and 10 now from the 12-yard line. It is Miller in the backfield, and he is joined by Chase Boyd, who had that 55-yard run to start this drive. Here is Miller calling for the snap. He gets it. Little pitch play out to the left to Boyd. He's got some room. Gets inside the 10, down to about the 8-yard line. And that'll set up a 2nd and about 5 or 6 yards for the Pirates of Fernandina Beach.
Tackle was by number 13, Jermarius Lumpkin. Jermarius Lumpkin. Good hit getting off the block and getting to Boyd.
Needed to do it because Boyd's got the speed to be able to take one of those in as he was running his way towards the end zone on the near sideline. So inside the 10-yard line now, Fernandina. They still can pick up a 1st down before scoring a touchdown. Here is Cam Miller. Takes the snap out to the right side. Now back into the middle. Inside the 5 he goes. Nice pickup there on 2nd down. Going to set up 2nd and about 2 or 3 from the 4-yard line. As I said, they can still get that set up 3rd and 2 or 3 from the 4-yard line. Can still get a 1st down, but they definitely want to get a touchdown here on this drive.
Yeah, real important drive. They've got to get points here, preferably a touchdown to get some momentum, getting the crowd back in the game and everything. And again, did a nice job play calling right there. A couple good runs, mixing up between the running back and the quarterback. So here we go, 3rd down.
All right, so 3rd down. We'll call it a long 3 from the 5. It is Miller, joined by Boyd. He's got 3 to the left, 1 to the right. He keeps it himself after faking the handoff to Boyd. Now cuts back towards the middle, but right back into the mass of bodies. And it's a few Hornets that join in on that tackle, including number 56 in there for Yulee, as the Hornets get the stop on 3rd down. And I don't see a kicker coming out on this 4th down play.
No, I don't see it either, but they're going to take a timeout here. That was a good job on it. They brought some pressure that time, and I think they brought more than they could block. So really good job right there, and Coach going to take a timeout. Really good, really big play right here because you can get away with points here and make it a 14-7 game with 3 minutes left in the half. You're still in the game. You got to see if Coach got one dialed up. Maybe he's got a trick one that he had that he's been waiting to run that they've been practicing. Something a little different that Yulee hasn't seen. So again, both teams being young. So you're going to have some mistakes, but I think that, they do play a bunch of good. It's like old man football. Not old man, I meant Iron Man football.
Yeah, that's right. Little indoor football style. Those guys playing on both sides of the ball.
Which is what you got your best guys out playing, and the other guys are giving them spelling, and you're getting a bunch of guys involved. So
yep, goes Colby Kidd, Harris Hamilton, Jared Hutchinson, Hampton Tanner, and Sam Loper across that line as it is Miller getting set up here in the backfield and has Chase Boyd to his left. Big 4th down play here, 4th and 3 from the 5-yard line. Coach is signaling out to the far side, and looks like we're going to get another timeout for Fernandina Beach. Might not have liked what they saw right there.
Yeah, that was they tried to draw him to see if they could maybe get him to jump off sides right there, and good discipline on the Yulee defense all the way around. Nobody jumped. I thought they were going to top it and throw the fade up. They got a big tall wideout out there.
Demarion Bryan was out there on the right side.
Yeah, and the DB probably doesn't look as tall, and I thought maybe they were going to take a shot and throw it up in the back corner for a jump ball back there. So we'll see what we get if they make any changes, but there was something he wanted to see how they were going to line up to that, I'm pretty sure. So that's a pretty good job. Good. Again, this is important down for Fernandina right here, this 4th down.
Yeah, no doubt. Big 4th and 3 from the 5-yard line, so they can get a 1st down without getting a touchdown, but you'd rather have 6.
Most definitely.
3 minutes and 12 seconds to go in the 2nd quarter. It'll be once again Bryan out on the right side. To the near side, number 9, Jeremiah Guidries, as well as Willie Coleman in the slot. Josiah Rawls to the right. Looks like Chase Boyd to the slot to the right. Here's the snap to Miller, getting blocks from Rawls, but just gets blown up. It was 4th down anyways, and what a huge play on defense there by the Yulee Hornets as they're Big tackle there comes from, I want to say it might have been that linebacker who held the snap a second ago. 24, sorry, 24. That is Andrew Fozzie making the big play there.
Some good plays. They brought him off the edge. It looked like he was going to be in coverage, and then he sort of snuck up and just came blowing off, and he blew the back up right there and pushed him right into the quarterback. A little frustration from the quarterback, Cam Miller. Just a little frustration right there. But, got to keep fighting, got to keep playing.
No doubt. Of course, fourth down, so despite the fumble, would have been a turnover on downs regardless. As Yulee will take over at its own 10-yard line, and it's Baker once again in quarterback. Barksdale to his left as the running back. 4 wideouts, and it looks like he's going to pass. He's going deep. This is a long pass from Baker, and a chance at an interception there from Demarion Bryan. We just mentioned him as a wide receiver. Well, here as a defensive back, had it come right to him. Unable to pull it down for the interception around midfield.
Yeah, that's a one he'll wish he had back right there, because he'd have caught that and he would have got a good return on that. But a really good job there. They tried to take a shot. 3 minutes left going in. Cam Miller was running down this hash mark on the right side. Wide open now. Wide open. A couple of these DBs for Fernandina are playing both ways, so they're a little bit winded here.
That includes Bryan, who we just mentioned. That tall wide receiver, unable to make a play there. Ernest Cortez, the safety, coming up. And it looks like it's going to be a handoff, and right up the middle. Here comes Barksdale. They get a piece of him, and that's enough to slow him down. Oh, it looks like it's a fumble. We'll see if they call it a fumble. The beanbag is out, and it looks like the Fernandina Beach Pirates. Let's see what they decide here. We got one ref on the near side who dropped the beanbag, but we got a discussion in the middle. And let's see what the referees decide. Referees decide the knee was down. Instead of a turnover, it's going to be a huge first down pickup for the Yulee Hornets after a long run by Barksdale. Really looked for a while there, like Khalil Marquez came up with a fumble recovery, but instead it'll be a Yulee first down at their own 40-yard line.
Yeah, they always throw the beanbag when the ball's out. But I think what he did, he kept the ball and he leaned it out and pounded it on the ground, and it popped out. That's what it looked like from me.
So fumble by contact with the ground is not a fumble.
Right, in all leagues.
That's right. 2.5 minutes to go here in the second quarter. 14-0 Yulee, looking to add to that lead here in this rivalry game against Fernandina Beach. Baker hands off to Barksdale. Barksdale up the middle, has some blocks, a big first down pickup of 9 yards. Makes things a lot easier when you have a second and short. 2nd and 1 will be the call upcoming from about midfield.
Yeah, Daryl Young, the fullback, really nice job right there, getting up on the linebacker, squirting him up for 9. It's just, what do we got, 2 minutes left?
Yep, 2 minutes as we go under 2 minutes right now here in the second quarter.
2 big run plays. We look for some play action on a 2nd and short, see if we can maybe get a post up the middle or something. A lot of DBs with their hands on their hips for Fernandina.
All right, so minute 45 to go in this second quarter. Yulee at some point going to have to keep in mind this clock is moving as Baker is under center. Wide receiver in motion, fakes the handoff there. Instead it goes back to Barksdale. Small pickup, but enough for a first down. And we do have a flag on the play. We'll see if this one comes back for Yulee. Sets up a 2nd down and long.
Yeah, that was 64. Lawrence Williams with the tackle right there. They call holding.
Yep, holding is the call, so pushes them back a good 10 yards, and we'll set up a 2nd down and long now. So all that good work you got on first down just goes right out the window with another holding call. You mentioned coming into this thing that Yulee had some young offensive linemen.
Yes, they do, and then they're playing against a couple older kids on the defensive line. But the whole thing is Yulee sort of taking their time. Clock's rolling,
and still running. A minute 15 to
go.
go.
Not in any hurry.
So they've got a minute 15 to go. 65 yards. Yeah, in the shotgun now is Baker. He's got 1 out to the right, 2 out to the left. Man in motion. Flag on the play.
Delay a game.
We'll have a delay of game. So, yeah, not watching the clock there.
Yeah, so I wonder if Coach Flagler with the quarterback was going to play both, and one got the first quarter and one's got the second quarter.
That would make a lot of sense.
Because that's what it seems like, because Baker's pretty much played the whole second quarter.
Yeah.
And Kyle Lee played the first quarter.
All right, so now it is a 2nd down at about 20 from their own 30-yard line with 1 minute to go in the half. So they're going to have to move it to get this final 70 yards and get to the end zone. Here is Baker dropping back. He's got a lot of room, gets around a defensive lineman, able to pick up about 13 of them, and does get out of bounds on the far side. So gains about 13, takes 10 seconds off the clock. It'll set up a second down at about 7-yard lines from their own 42.
Yeah, so, I mean, they just good quarterback scramble. Fernandina brought some pressure, got away. I think they need to spread the field out a little bit and make those guys, the Fernandina guys, play in space because every DB's got their hands on their hips. They're all playing offense.
So if you're the Pirates, this is a good time to know that Yulee might be trying to use these outsides, use the sidelines and get out of bounds because only 50 seconds remain in this first half. High snap, but Baker's able to bring it down, gets the pass off the fingertips of Ernest Cortez, the safety, nearly an interception for number 6 at Fernandina Beach, but it falls incomplete, setting up a 3rd and 7.
Yeah, I didn't think that was a good decision. He almost threw back across his body. They had the out route, which he catches it, gets out of bounds, gets the first down. And they try to force the ball into the middle of the field. Again, quarterback playing for the first time, probably getting in the flow of the game, and then, you forget, we got to move the change, stop the clock. So 4th down.
Yeah, so unable to move the change, which means they're going to have to punt it. I believe this is the first time in the game that Yulee has punted. Of course, the first one was a missed field goal, and then 2 touchdowns so far for the Yulee Hornets, as Chase Boyd is deep to receive for Fernandina Beach. Here is the punt. It's a short punt right in the middle of the field, and Yulee going to fall on it. Yeah. And it'll set up a 1st and 10 from their own 42-yard line. 36 seconds, about 58 yards to go, Coach.
Yeah, I think that was Justin Pope. I couldn't tell on the number, but not a very good punt, about 18 yards. But again, then they don't get to return it. So, I mean, you've been doing a pretty good job and forcing them to throw the ball, which they haven't been able to show. So if you're coming out with 36 seconds left, I think they've got a chance to try to stop them and knock them down.
All right, so your ESPN 690 game of the week, Fernandina Beach and Yulee. It is the Hornets of Yulee leading 14-0 with less than a minute to go in this first half, but Fernandina gets one last crack at getting some points as Cam Miller in the shotgun. He will roll to his left, looking for options. Now cuts back into the middle, throws it deep. He's got number 9 wide open, and it is intercepted. Nice job by the Yulee Hornets to jump in front of that pass. And that is number 7 getting the interception for Yulie Sanchez Alberti with a big play to turn it over with 27 seconds left in the half.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad throw. He had him beat a little bit and hung it a little bit, and they were just playing in center field. Alberti came over, did the guy's job, attacked it at the highest point, got the ball. We'll see what they're going to sit down on it or if they're going to take a shot here.
Yeah, Jeremiah Guidries was the wide receiver there who got behind the defense. You said it. Number 9 was streaking down the sideline, but Miller just unable to get enough air under it and able to get it to his wide receiver, just a step behind him. And so in steps Sanchez Alberti for the interception and turns it right back over.
So what are you going to do here? You're up 14-0. You can take a chance, just hand the ball off and go into halftime up 14-0.
I think you do a little bit of both.
All right. I like it.
I think you
get
the ball to Barksdale.
Yeah, and whatever happens,
and then whatever happens.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Barksdale is the running back. Baker under center. He will hand it off to Barksdale. Barksdale looking for running lanes. Able to pick up about 4 yards, but as we said, Coach Flagler on that visiting sideline, happy to head into the locker room. They're calling their players in. So we're going to go to the break here with a 14-0 lead for the Yulee Hornets as they have the advantage over their rivals from Fernandina Beach. That is our halftime score on your ESPN 690 Game of the Week. We will have your halftime show coming up, including your Baker Sports Coach of the Week. We'll discuss that and a whole lot more from the first half. That's coming up next right here on ESPN 690.
Will Stan Van Gundy dance at an Elton John concert? Is that something that's ever happened? Is it something that ever would happen?
No.
The Dan Le Batard Show with Stu Gatz. Weekdays from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on ESPN 690.
Honda of the Avenues is Sing Zeros. 0 down payment, 0 first payment, and 0 security deposit this month. Sign and drive a new Accord LX for just $269 a month with 0 due at signing. Or buy with 0% financing at Honda of the Avenues, the Honda Giant.
2019 Accord LX, $269 a month for 36 months, plus tax, title, and registration with approved credit through AHFC. Lessee's responsible for 15 cents per mile over 12,000 miles per year. 0% for 24 to 60 months on all 2019 Accords. 5% down, plus tax, tag, and fees. Valid on in-stock units only. See dealer for details. Offers end 9/3/2019.
And welcome back to your ESPN 690 Game of the Week. The Fernandina Beach Pirates trailing the Yulee Hornets 14-0 at the break. We want to give a big shout out to some of our sponsors, including Mr. Chubby's Wings. They're part of the community, and they want to wish all the high school teams good luck this fall. They've been supporting youth athletics for a decade. Get ready for the game at Mr. Chubby's. Celebrate the big win at Mr. Chubby's. Chub it up with the best wings around. Mr. Chubby's Wings on the west side and in Fleming Island. Stuart Weber here alongside the Hall of Famer, Coach Kevin Sullivan, as we call the action on a beautiful night in Fernandina Beach. Even more so beautiful for the fans on the visiting sideline. Yulee, especially their running back, Kamari Barksdale, have controlled this first half as they lead 14-0.
Yeah, they came out throwing it a little bit, and they dropped a touchdown pass early, and they've done a good job of mixing in the pass with the run, but they've sort of gone back to what Coach Flagler wanted to do and get the ball back running. They didn't have a great job running last week, and he told me one of the things they wanted to do was they want to keep them loose with the pass, but they want to be able to get back and run it and get their guys better as they keep moving on through the season.
All right, the halftime show here at Fernandina Beach getting set to kick off. The Yulee band about to take the field. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll go over some of those Lou Saab keys to the game, as well as that's Lou Saab, Honda of the Avenues, key of the games, as well as a little look around the town, the scoreboard update. We'll take a look at that coming up next right here on ESPN 690.
It got me thinking back to my days covering the Giants camp. I remember talking about how hard it was, mostly if it went against the rules, because Strahan and some other players would challenge Coughlin on it.
Do you remember those days, though, where teams would get punished?
Action Sports Jacks, weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. on ESPN 690.
Are you looking for the best wings around? I found the place. Listen up. Hey, everyone, it's Brent Martineau. Mr. Chubby's Wings is awesome. 2 locations, the west side and in Fleming Island. They are a part of the community, too. Mr. Chubby's Wings wants to wish all of the high school teams good luck this fall. They've been supporting youth athletics for a decade. Get ready for the game at Mr. Chubby's. Celebrate the big win at Mr. Chubby's. Chub it up with the best wings around. Mr. Chubby's Wings on the west side and in Fleming Island.
It may not require a textbook, but it's filled with valuable lessons. It may not take place in a classroom, but it's an ideal environment for learning. It may not involve a diploma, but it can help prepare Florida's young people for life. It's high school sports. High school sports can play a critical role in students' overall education. In fact, studies show that students that participate in high school sports are more likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in their academic lives. If you think high school sports are only about competition, think again. Better yet, think about attending a high school sporting event in your community. You'll be amazed by what you see. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Florida High School Athletic Association and the Florida Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Hey, everybody, this is Brent Martineau from Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 and, of course, on CBS 47 and Fox 30. If you catch us on the radio, hopefully you tune in 3 until 6, Monday through Friday. And you can catch us on TV on the weekend as well. Saturday and Sunday nights, Action Sports Jacks primetime. The entire Action Sports Jacks team, including Stuart Weber and Marcel Robinson, on Saturday nights. 10:30 on Fox 30, 11:30 on CBS 47, Action Sports Jacks primetime. And during the week on ESPN 690.
Welcome back to our ESPN 690 Game of the Week as the band hits the high note. The Yulee Hornets band out there giving a performance to the fans at Fernandina Beach.
I didn't know they had bands at halftime. I've never seen one.
You're always in the locker room making adjustments, Coach. That's the problem there. A little Batman medley, I think, is what we got going on here. I'm talking like old school Batman. Like not the new one where it's dark and broody. I'm talking the old one with the crazy cars and the other stuff on there.
Our stuff.
That's right.
Not my stuff.
All right, we want to give a big mention to one of our big sponsors, Baker Sports, and the Baker Sports Coach of the Week. This week it goes to Wolfson's Dennis Bettinger. And the Wolfson Wolfpack picking up a 36-19 victory at Stanton in the opening week. That's a game I was actually at for the end of it. They trailed 19-8 at one point, ran off 28 straight points. This is a game that Wolfson lost 40-0 a year ago.
Yeah,
and so to turn it around and come back and get the win, that makes Dennis Bettinger our Baker Sports Coach of the Week.
Yeah, Dennis done a good job. And the thing that's excited about that is they've been down for so long. So to come out and be 1-0 starting and everything you sold those guys in the summer that we've got to do and we've got to work and we've got to lift and we've got to run, and you come out and get the win, and it just gets everybody so excited, the school excited, everything. So congratulations, Coach Bettinger.
Nice job there by Coach Bettinger. As mentioned, he is your Baker Sports Coach of the Week. Another winner will be announced on Tuesday during Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane. Hope you guys join us every week from 3 to 6 p.m. As we bring you local sports like no one else can. The combination of radio and TV on Action Sports Jacks. All right, let's take a quick look around the scoreboard. Some of the other scores from around Jacksonville. Westside leading Englewood at the half 21-0. That game at Englewood. Bishop Kenny Crusaders and Atlantic Coast Stingrays, coach, one of your old teams, in a battle. It's 24-20 Crusaders at the break as Bishop Kenny looks to rebound from a loss to Fletcher in the opening week. Of course, the Paxton Golden Eagles up 7-0 on Wolfson. So Wolfson keeping it close in that second game as well as they look for the Brain Bowl sweep. They took out Stanton last week. Now they got Paxton this week. We'll see if they're able to do it. Another Nassau County score for you. The West Nassau Warriors taking on the Lee Generals. It's Lee leading 12-0 in the second quarter of that matchup. Mandarin up 17-6 on the Revolt Trojans. I know that was a game that was delayed a little bit by lightning, a lightning strike right near kickoff. Went and threw off all the timing for my photographer, Marcel Robinson. He was trying to get 3 games. I don't know if he's going to get 3 games now.
Well, tell him to go to FPC and Clay because they're not starting. They didn't start till 7:35.
I don't think he can make it all the way down the Flagler Palm Coast, but perhaps. St. Augustine Yellow Jackets up 14-0 on Menendez. That's a score that kind of surprises me. St. Augustine with a little bit of a down year last year. They still made the playoffs, but they had a losing record, beating Menendez 14-0. Menendez with a very impressive performance in week 1 with a big victory.
Well, St. Augustine losing last year to them for the first time in school history.
First time
and
ever.
They've had to hear that for how many, 300 days, 360 days or whatever it is. So they're coming out fighting, ready to go.
And perhaps one of our other games of the night as we wrap up our out-of-town scoreboard, the Columbia Tigers leading Oakley 14-13 in the second quarter. Of course, Columbia, our game of the week 1 week ago when the Tigers were able to just mollywop the Trinity Christian Conquerors. That was an unexpected result, one we expected to be much closer. And now taking on the Oak Leaf Knights, a team that is full of talent. You've got the guys like Chance and Jalen, 2 guys going to
and the quarterback,
Miami.
Don't forget the quarterback.
And the quarterback, Willie Simmons III, is another very strong player. That is a 14-13 game in the second quarter.
And you got to give Trinity credit for bouncing back last night and winning in overtime in Tallahassee at Godby. From what I've been told, they lost 2 running backs in the game. I don't know how severe and everything. And then Miles Brooks had to come in the fourth quarter, I think, and play some back there too. So again, for them to get beat the way they got beat in Lake City, Columbia, come back, sort of lick their wounds, have a short week, play on Thursday night, and go back to Tallahassee. Good job by Verlin Dorman and Trinity staff.
Yeah, Miles Brooks, of course, the 4-star defensive back, headed to Georgia Tech. So he's smart enough to play both ways if he has to. And
yes, sir.
That's what happened as they went 45-42 over Godby in overtime last night out in Tallahassee. All right, let's go back over some of your Lusab Honda of the Avenues keys to the game and really just how the Yulee Hornets have been able to successfully take advantage of the opportunities on the field and go out to a 14-0 lead here at the half.
Well, again, coming in, they didn't run the ball very well last week, and that one of the keys. Their offensive line is young. They started a true freshman at right guard and the only senior on the right tackle spot. And they've run pretty effectively, and Barksdale's done a good job. Again, they don't have to be mashed. They got to get on them and move them and not give up penetration. So they've done a good job with that. I think they've played pretty good on defense. Granted, Fernandina's a little handicap with the backup quarterback in, but I think they've done a pretty good job defensively. So those were 2 of the keys that we talked on at the beginning of the game. The kicking game really hasn't been a factor in it at all.
They did have that first field goal attempt that was a miss, but as you said, it hasn't really played into the way this game has gone. 14-0, leading are the Yulee Hornets, as we have about 6.5 minutes until we start up this second half, plus a little warm-up time as well, as both teams will get ready to go. What do you think Fernandina Beach has to do, Coach Kevin Sullivan, here in the second half to really turn things around? They did have that one really nice play there by Chase Boyd to get him in good position, but weren't able to punch it in at the end of that drive.
Well, so what I think they've got to do is Coach has a sort of a game plan because of the short week and his quarterback not being his starting quarterback, and he's done a pretty solid job running it and doing it. But I think they've got to work in Chase Boyd a little bit more and take some pressure off. I'd like to see him get into, like in the short yardage stuff. They spread you all out. They don't get in any big power sets and get to run downhill and do some things that way. And that may not be in their game, but that's something you should always have, some type of power set or something your 2-point play or down by the goal line or something when you've got to have the first down, where they ran the play down there on inside the 5 and really didn't have a chance from the beginning because they just brought more than they could block. But I think Coach Swearinger knows what he's got to do as far as just sort of getting back. But I think they've got to get Chase Boyd worked in a little bit. And I think if they get in some second and short, 2nd and 1, 2nd and 2, they need to take a shot. They need to do what they did at the end of the first half. The guy ran by, threw it, the kid picked it, but he was open. So I think they got to come back and take a shot there.
Kind of the good and bad of having a big playmaker like Cam Miller.
Right.
He's a big playmaker, but then the other team knows, hey, we got a key on this guy, and we got to make sure he isn't the one that beats us.
Well, again, and they've got a bunch of guys in the box, and they're going to force them to throw it, so you've got to try to throw it a little bit. And, again, not all over the yard, but in a 2nd and short where it looks like a run, it's a run situation, come off the play action, get you a slant, maybe get you a post in there, hit the fade on one of their big, tall, good wideouts over the DB. So, again, I think Fernandina settled in towards the end of that second half. Came out, had a stop after they turned it over on down and got the ball back. Then they had a turnover, but at least they're playing a little bit better in the second half.
All right, let's take
second quarter.
Let's take another timeout here in our halftime show. Of course, we're getting closer to the kickoff for the third quarter with the Yulee Hornets leading Fernandina Beach 14-0. We'll be right back here on your ESPN 690 Game of the Week.
WOKB Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
Oye, amigo, it is the Dan Le Batard Show on ESPN Radio.
At Le Batard Show on Twitter. Go ahead, fake Stugatz.
How long would it take for you to get up and walk around after being in bed for 30 years if your grandson found a golden ticket? Over one musical number or under one musical number? 58% of the audience said over one musical number.
The Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugatz on ESPN Radio and ESPN News.
Honda of the Avenues is Sing Zeros. 0 down payment, 0 first payment, and 0 security deposit this month. Sign and drive a new Accord LX for just $269 a month with 0 due at signing. Or buy with 0% financing at Honda of the Avenues, the Honda Giant.
2019 Accord LX, $269 a month for 36 months, plus tax, title, and registration with approved credit through AHFC. Lessee's responsible for 15 cents per mile over 12,000 miles per year. 0% for 24 to 60 months on all 2019 Accords. 5% down, plus tax, tag, and fees. Valid on in-stock units only. See dealer for details. Offers end 9/3/2019.
Are you looking for the best wings around? I found the place. Listen up. Hey, everyone. It's Brent Martineau. Mr. Chubby's Wings is awesome. 2 locations, the West Side and in Fleming Island. They are a part of the community, too. Mr. Chubby's Wings wants to wish all of the high school teams good luck this fall. They've been supporting youth athletics for a decade. Get ready for the game at Mr. Chubby's. Celebrate the big win at Mr. Chubby's. Chub it up with the best wings around. Mr. Chubby's Wings on the West Side and in Fleming Island.
Looking for future leaders we can trust and believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in Florida. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It begins by making their grades and being on time for practice. It includes learning to listen, following directions, accepting responsibility, being a good role model. And it's about respect for officials, opponents, the rules, and each other. The result? It transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. High school sports. There's so much more than just a game. This message presented by the Florida High School Athletic Association and the Florida Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio.
And welcome back to the ESPN 690 Game of the Week. It's also your CBS 47 Fox 30 Action News Jacks Game of the Week. So we, of course, will have some of the highlights from this one coming up a little later on tonight. 10:30 on Fox 30, the Friday Night Blitz, as well as 11:15 on CBS 47 and Fox 30, though I recommend you watch the 10:30 show. It's the better one. It's full half hour, and I will be on that one. The other one's too short, so we can't get the faces in there. We just got the highlights.
Yeah, Brent's out here. He's up in Ohio.
That's right. Brent, of course, up in Ohio. His wife going into her high school athletics Hall of Fame.
I try to tell him, I tell all my kids, never date a girl or marry a girl better athlete than you. So you know Brent did that.
He certainly did. I have yet to hear about him going into his high school's athletic Hall of Fame. So congratulations to Steph and the Martineaus on that honor. And Brent can now say he hangs out with two Hall of Famers. Yeah. You and his wife, Steph. Maybe one day I'll make a Hall of Fame so we can add a third one to that.
There you go.
It is 14-0 here at the half as the Fernandina Beach Band wraps up a wonderful performance. And the players come out to start their warm-ups and get ready for the second half of action. As Coach, what you got?
I was just saying that they've had a real strong play from their linebackers. Yulee has on defense. Antonio Parks and 24.
Andrew Fozzie.
Kalik Alberti.
I'm looking at the wrong. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So that's we got to get that taken care of. We made a mistake earlier on.
Oh, it's not Andrew Fozzie.
No, it's Kalik Alberti.
How many Albertis do we got out there?
I think 3.
Okay, well,
I know the DB's got a pick. And there's another brother out there that's running around playing. And so they've got a younger brother. They've got a 9th, a 10th, and a junior, I think. So I'm trying to open the door.
Good effort there. I like that.
I know. I think I might have hurt my shoulder on that.
Well, got to stretch now. That's key, Coach.
But, yeah, so they've done a good job. Their linebackers have been all over the field making some plays. And, again, Fernandina's just got to come out and try to get something going like they did at the end of the second quarter.
I think a big part of that will be Chase Boyd getting the ball to number 5. He obviously had the big 55-yard pickup there in the first half that really led to the only offense that they were able to muster. And then Cam Miller trying to do his best as the cannon goes off from the pirate ship. They haven't had a chance to blast it off with a score yet, so getting some halftime work from the cannon.
There's a pirate ship in the end zone.
Yeah, there's a pirate ship down there.
Do people know that? That's pretty cool. Huh? I got to admit, that's pretty cool down there.
It's almost like we're in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I like it. I've seen a couple pirates on the sidelines walking around and everything. So
take this stuff seriously up here, Coach.
Hey, it's good. That's what it's about. High school football, exciting. Get the community involved, and there's not a lot of community schools, and these are two sort of communities. They have their own communities. They get to play against each other, and then when they all get over there to West Nassau and play that one over there too, that's another rivalry that they have. So again, I think both these programs have coaches that want to stay around and be around a while, and they want maybe they're going to keep working and trend these programs back up a little bit. That's what I'd like to see. But again, they get to play each week. That's the beauty of high school football. You get to play each week.
That is correct. Of course, the Yulee Hornets and Fernandina Beach Pirates in action tonight. Both teams coming to their sidelines. We're getting ready to get this second half started of action. As mentioned, Yulee leads 14-0. Hopefully the lightning flash I just saw was very far off in the distance.
No, I didn't see anything.
You didn't see anything.
As a typical coach would say.
Nobody saw anything. Of course, a lot of storms out there off the coast of Florida out there in the Atlantic. So Yulee won the toss at the very beginning of this thing, elected to defer, meaning they will receive to start off the second half, and will try to add to their lead of 14-0. Both teams coming into this one 0-1. Both teams kind of looking to find that rhythm as this season is still very much in the early going.
Yeah, I tell you what, though, again, both teams, just really trying to get their way. And, a lot in high school, the kickoff classic to week 1, there's always big improvement. And from week 1 to week 2, I always seem like there's always been a big improvement with your kids. They starting to get figure out about being in shape, about pushing a little bit harder in practice. And, you sort of start getting used to playing in the games instead of practice all the time. So I always see there's a big improvement from kickoff class of week 1 to week 2.
All right, so we are ready to go. Both teams lined up. It'll be Yulee going left to right to start off this second half as the kickoff is about to begin. Here it is. Long kickoff there from number 18, Phil Tita. Gathered in at about the 12-yard line, and making his way up is Barksdale. He's moving left and right. Nice stiff arm there. Gets up to the 35-yard line where the Yulee offense will take over.
Yeah, pretty good kick right there. Good little return. Look, we got one down. We got somebody down.
All right, player down for Fernandina Beach, so we'll have a quick break here, and we're going to take a break with them. So we'll take a quick timeout here on our ESPN 690 Game of the Week as the player gets attention out on the field for Fernandina Beach. We'll be right back.
That's the crossroads.
So then you would have Jerry Jones basically saying we're not paying market value for what this guy would be worth.
He just came out and said you can win a Super Bowl without winning a rushing title.
Go Lick and Wingo, weekdays from 6 to 10 a.m. on ESPN 690.
Honda of the Avenues is Sing Zeros. 0 down payment, 0 first payment, and 0 security deposit this month. Sign and drive a new Accord LX for just $269 a month with 0 do-it signing. Or buy with 0% financing at Honda of the Avenues, the Honda Giant.
2019 Accord LX, $269 a month for 36 months, plus tax, title, and registration with approved credit through AHFC. Lessees responsible for 15 cents per mile over 12,000 miles per year. 0% for 24 to 60 months on all 2019 Accords. 5% down plus tax, tag, and fees. Valid on in-stock units only. See dealer for details. Offers end 9/3/2019.
And welcome back to your ESPN 690 Game of the Week as we come back from that break. Ernest Cortez, who was the shaken-up player, looked like he just had some cramps, able to run off the field on his own power. Big shout-out to Baker Sports, homegrown and ready to help the home team look good on Friday nights and every night in any sport. Baker Sports has been doing just that since 1997. Your team experts offer the top brands like Under Armour and Adidas. Screen print, embroidery, and trophies all done in-house right here in Jacksonville. That is Baker's Sports. As Yulee has the ball, Kyle Lee back in at quarterback, but here's the constant, hands it off. And to the left side goes Barksdale, but a yellow hanky comes on down again, another flag. We'll see if it's another holding on that Yulee offensive line. Barksdale going left, picked up about 10 yards, but it's all for naught. As back comes that ball, another penalty against that Yulee offense.
Yeah, I think it was the wide out on the hole. It might have been the guy that had the great block on the touchdown run before, but it's a little bit hard to see. That the kids got to understand as they start moving the guy blocking him, if he starts to slide off you got to let him go. Just push him. Let him go. Let the back find it instead of trying to stay on. The hands get out of the framework of the body of your body, and they throw the flag. A little bit frustrating when the wideouts are holding.
Early here in the third quarter of a 14-0 game, Yulee leading it. As the Fernandina Beach Pirates make sure they got 11 guys on the field, Coach.
Yeah, well, they got 11. They're trying to rotate a few guys in and out based on what they're doing up against them.
All right, so Lee will be under center. Wide receivers on each side. It's a handoff again to Barksdale. Up the middle he goes, and able to get back most of that penalty and a little bit more. That'll set up a 2nd down and 8 as we have another player down for Fernandina Beach as the medical staff will come out and take a look.
Yeah, it looks like he's grabbing his hamstring a little bit there. I don't know if he's cramping up. Hopefully that's all it is. Again, coming out of the break, here's what people don't understand is the kids are good. They need to drink constantly during the day before, and drink. Even though it's a nice, cool night, they're adrenaline. They've got their first home opener, big rival. You know, they get all excited and everything. Then they don't take care of their bodies. And so they go in at halftime, and the defensive guys have been off at halftime a little bit like that. And so they go in and they take a sip of what they don't drink like they're supposed to drink.
It's easy to tell the guys to drink a lot of water when it's hot outside, but you get a little cooler day, and then it starts to creep up on you.
Yeah, so a little bit cooler there, and they don't drink. And again, you got to think of their whole day of everything they're doing during the day. They might have had PE today where they were running around sweating, and all the coaches get mad when they play in PE on game day, and that's been going on for 100 years. But you can't tell the kids that. So
right.
But again, that's just this time of year. You got to take care of your body. You got to drink. You got to rest. You always got to stretch too. So, so we got a little bit of time. Hopefully that's what it is. I can't quite see what they're.
Yeah, they're taking a look at the player down there, and they're going to help him up. That's number 3 for Fernandina Beach, Josiah Rawls, the linebacker / running back for this team. Of course, he's playing a lot of snaps out there, playing on every snap. in the game, really, is Josiah Rawls, sitting up now. And hopefully we'll see if they can pop him back up on his feet and get him moving. 11 minutes to go here in the third quarter as Rawls gets back to his feet. Want to give a shout-out to Lou Saab, Honda of the Avenues. We will, of course, have your Lou Saab post-game drive of the game. That will be coming up in just a little bit as needs some help in favoring the right lower leg. So a little bit more than a cramp there for Josiah Rawls as he's favoring that right leg, unable to put some weight on it.
Yeah, he's a sophomore, and he's put together pretty well. Coach spoke really high, 6'2", 180-pound linebacker. Plays a little wide out in their four wide stuff and that. So hopefully he's not hurt too bad and he can get back out there.
All right, so back onto the field come the players. It'll be Yulee ball once again after that pickup by Barksdale. And they will have a second down and 9 yards to go coming from their own 36-yard lines as the clock is running once again. Under 11 minutes it goes. 14-0 for Yulee. Under center is Kyle Lee, one of the two quarterbacks for this Yulee team. He will hand it off again to Barksdale. A little hesitation now outside to the left side and able to pick up a first down and a lot more. That's a gain of about 16, 17 yards, and across midfield goes the Yulee offense.
Well, I'll tell you, the wideout did a good job blocking, but he started to slide off him, and he sort of just jumped out of his way. He wasn't getting called for holding again. The coach probably yelled at him when he went over there. So that's a good little run. Again, they're just sort of base blocking it, little zone blocking it, and he hitting it and bouncing it outside.
That's the thing that's hard when you got a running back like Barksdale. You want to make sure you get those open holes for him, but the guy can do a lot on his own. You don't want to be the one that brings it back when he picks up a nice gain.
Right, and it's great that they're out there working, but they just got to realize you just got to sort of get on it. If you start losing them, let them go.
So that's a first down for the Yulee Hornets. Play clock's got to be getting pretty close here. They run up to the ball. It is Lee under center. Barksdale in the back. Wide receivers on each side. Two tight ends. Hands it off to Barksdale. He fumbles. It's on the ground, but big play there by the offensive lineman, Joseph Bedell, to get on top of it. Nice job by the big guy to be aware and get the fumble recovery. So it ends up being a nice gain in the end of about 6 yards. But a dangerous moment there as Barksdale coughed it up.
Yeah, good job by the lineman. Boy, his buddies will be razzing him on film on Monday about not picking it up, trying to run, get one for the big guys.
But that's the smart move there, especially in that part of the field.
Yeah, just jump on it, live another snap, and get going. Barksdale got to take care of the ball. I wonder if they'll take him out here and bring the other young man that had a nice run earlier.
We saw that in the Jaguars game yesterday about one of the guys just not just falling on the ball. So it happens at every single level. So in the backfield now, Clayton Walden, one of the speedier wideouts back there with the quarterback. It looks like that's actually Baker who they brought in here. No, that's Lee. Lee gets the pass off and a nice catch on the far side of the field. A pickup of about 10 yards, and that is Clayton Walden, the wide receiver, is getting that first down catch and moving the chains for Yulee.
I'm telling you what, that kid right there got really good hands, runs really good routes, Clayton Walden. But really good job extending for that ball, making a real nice catch. His hands are good. They need to get him the ball a lot more.
Kind of a falling away reception there for Clayton Walden, who gets that first down for the visitors from Yulee, who are now starting to put together a nice sustained drive here to start off this third quarter and doing what they want to do. They want to run the ball. They want to run the clock because they've got the lead and a nice offense to be able to run some clock as it is once again Kyle Lee in the backfield. Here is the handoff and making some moves and nearly taken down once, twice, cuts back into the middle, ends up being a gain of about 2. But
that was an exciting 2-yard gain right
I'll tell you what, he
run.
probably ran about 8 or 9 yards there, did the running back, and that's number 8 in there for Barksdale, your backup running back for Yulee, Jergati Wilcox.
Yeah, Wilcox also plays DB. Playing a lot of snaps. Coach speaks really high of him. So he's a really hard-working kid, gives you everything he's got on both sides, and a leader on the team as a 10th grader.
So that 2.5-yard gain, we'll call it 2, gives a second down and 8 at the Fernandina Beach 30-yard line for the Yulee offense. Lee still in at quarterback. 2 receivers left, one to the right, tight end on the right side as well, drops back to pass. Now he's going to run with it, tucks it, cuts between 2 tackles, but nice form tackling there by number 9 for the home team Fernandina Beach. That's Jeremiah Guidries. able to get in there on that tackle.
Yeah, they brought a little pressure on that one. They were very young up front. They couldn't block it. But he had the tight end leak out late, and he missed the tight end there in the flat, which would have been a really nice gain. But again, they've got to be able to sustain and do what they've been doing.
I definitely get the sense that Coach Flagler is trying to run the clock here on this one because they're not getting to the ball with more than 20 seconds left on the play clock. They are letting that thing run down just about each and every time as it goes down to 13-12. So another one with 30 seconds run off. Lee under center. Sends the fullback in motion. He goes to the right side. Now the handoff goes to Wilcox again. He goes to the left side. In pursuit is Cam Miller, and he just gets stiff-armed down. And Wilcox around the outside and into the end zone. What a run for Dragani Wilcox as he scores a touchdown with 6 minutes to go in the third quarter and makes it a 20-0 game for the Yulee Hornets.
Yeah, he took that ball, and he just went right to the outside and cut it up. And Cam Miller did a nice job coming downhill. And he sort of just stiff-armed and went around the edge. It was a good, really nice run right there. Good change of pace back Yulee has right there in Wilcox.
I mean, you talk about running backs at Yulee. They've done okay there.
They've been okay.
They've been all right.
They've had some pretty good ones.
They've had a guy or two that it's done some things.
Yeah, they've been all right. They've had a couple guys over the years.
Of course, Derrick Henry, the great Yulee legend, now playing in the NFL for a team we're not going to name.
Right, but speaking of that too, now you've got both these guys have real strong tradition. Rick Stockstill that played at Florida State is the head coach at Middle Tennessee State University. He's a Fernandina. His dad was the head coach here for a bunch of years, retired from Nassau County Schools up here at Fernandina Beach, and then of course the coach on the Yulee sideline, had a really nice career in the NFL.
Former holder of the record for yards in a game until that Derrick Henry guy came around.
Yeah, in Nassau County. He had, 7 touchdowns, 405 yards or something like that.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah. And he played for Fernandina.
The connections are everywhere.
Yes.
Down here in this one. So 21-0 is now your score in favor of the Yulee Hornets with 6 minutes and 17 seconds to go in the third quarter. Gabe Shiver's extra point was good. He will also line up for kickoff duties as Fernandina Beach now really going to need some offense and to do it pretty quickly because Yulee has shown that when they have the ball, they're able to pick up first downs and they're able to do it on the ground, which has allowed that clock to run.
Yeah, that's a real nice, almost a 6-minute drive coming out to half. They started off with a couple penalties and then they ended up just staying on the game, playing what they're doing and run the ball, and they got a good mix of backs with Barksdale and Wilcox.
So here is Gabe Shiver's kickoff. Sends it high into the night. Of course, all the sun has gone away. Goes down to Chase Boyd. Boyd comes up the middle. Nice pursuit there by special teams for Yulee. They're jumping on it as though the ball came loose. We'll see. Now they're going to say it stays with Fernandina Beach. So it'll be a Pirates first down at their own 27-yard line.
That's a tight end, Brody McGee, running down there, getting the first hit on there. The sophomore tight end getting in on special teams. Again, a lot of these kids with not a lot of depth have to play on special teams also.
All right, we're going to take a quick break as the players do as well. Quick hydration break. So if you're listening at home, get some water in you. We're taking a break. It's 21-0 Yulee. We'll be right back on your ESPN 690 Game of the Week.
I think it's time to let go.
11th ranked Oregon, number 16 Auburn.
I think it's time to let go.
Kickoff is Saturday at 7:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ABC. Presented by Dr. Pepper.
Are you looking for the best wings around? I found the place. Listen up. Hey, everyone, it's Brent Martineau. Mr. Chubby's Wings is awesome. 2 locations, the West Side and in Fleming Island. They are a part of the community, too. Mr. Chubby's Wings wants to wish all of the high school teams good luck this fall. They've been supporting youth athletics for a decade. Get ready for the game at Mr. Chubby's. Celebrate the big win at Mr. Chubby's. Chub it up with the best wings around. Mr. Chubby's Wings on the West Side and in Fleming Island.
And welcome back to the ESPN 690 Game of the Week. Cam Miller taking off, the quarterback for Fernandina. Goes all the way around the right side, cuts it back inside, enough for a first down. That's a pickup of 11 to start off this offensive drive for the home team, Fernandina Beach Pirates. They trail 21-0, under 6 minutes to go here in this third quarter.
Oh, they got a cramper.
And you got a man down, that's number 56, one of those offensive linemen for Fernandina. Hampton Tanner plays both ways on this Pirates team. as they're going to go attend to him and take a look, as that's starting to be an issue for these players at this point in the game.
Yeah, he's been really active, too, on defense. He's probably played almost every snap going in and out. They try to rest him a little bit on defense, but they can't rest him on offense. So they're not real deep on the offensive line. They've got to bring a couple of the young guys in to spell him, but he's played a lot of snaps tonight. And, those big guys, it's a little harder for them to play both ways than some of the skilled guys.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's why they only really have a couple of them. The defensive tackles on the inside are guys who play on that offensive line as well as guards. So he remains down for a moment as they take a look. Gives us a chance to say thanks to some of our sponsors, Baker Sports. Baker Sports will get you ready for your big game, looking good so you can play good. Play ball with your team experts at Baker's Sports. They are the sponsors of our Coach of the Week. As looks like Hampton Tanner gets back on his feet, able to walk on his own power. You can see he's a little ginger on one of those legs, so we'll see how quickly he's able to get back into the ball game for Fernandina Beach as they make a substitution. And coming in will be number 64, Lawrence Williams, who is a freshman.
Yes. Again, that's who they've been subbing in, two freshmen in the inside of the defensive line. So now they've got to put one on the offensive line to spell one of their older guys.
You're looking at a score update there, Coach.
Yeah, been some interesting scores tonight. Nice up big on Creekside, 30-13 going into half. Didn't see that one coming.
Of course, next week we will have that St. Johns County battle between Bartram Trail and Creekside. That'll be your ESPN 690 game of the week next week. But right now we're focused on Fernandina Beach and Yulee. Cam Miller in the shotgun, has Chase Boyd to his left. He drops back under pressure, and down he goes. Looks like he lost the ball as well. The ball is loose, and the Yulee Hornets have it. It is a turnover, and Yulee gets it. I want to say that's 45. Gavin Knight for the Yulee defense coming out of the pile with the ball after Cam Miller loses it. It'll be 1st and 10 Hornets from their opponent's 32-yard line.
Yeah, it looked like he took off running and he just dropped the ball, or he went to squeeze it and it came out of his hand and just fell out of the hand. Again, nothing for him to be frustrated about and everything. Making his first start, a lot of things going on in his mind, and not used to playing back there and everything. So he just got to hang in there, keep his head up, and be there and keep doing the best he can.
So Kyle Lee and that Yulee offense will return to the field as Lee sets up in the shotgun. Barksdale to his left, fakes there, instead goes outside to Clayton Walden. Walden finds some room, gets a gain of about 12 or 13 before finally being taken down by Demarion Bryan.
Yeah, just a little quick screen out there, the little wide receiver screen coming back. And Walden's done a really nice job catching the ball, made a guy miss, got a nice little gainer.
So that sets up now a 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line for Yulee. 5 minutes to go here in this third quarter. Another touchdown would make this a lot bigger hill to climb for that Fernandina Beach offense as we have 5 minutes to go in this third quarter. So Lee in the shotgun. Motion man is number 6. Instead, it's a handoff again to Barksdale. Back to the right, into the middle. Finally taken down, although kind of dragged Ernest Cortez to the ground with him as he went, gaining a couple extra yards. Another nice pickup for Barksdale and that offensive line blocking for him.
Yeah, Cortez has been all over the field. He probably got about 6 or 7 tackles. I believe he might have been the leading tackler last week, him in the middle linebacker, 34. So I think that A.J. West has been pretty active inside, but Cortez has been in there too. Now Miller's got to come in and play it for him as he limps off the field.
Sets Yulee up with a 2nd down and 4 yards from about the 13-yard line of Fernandina Beach. Lee under center has Barksdale in the backfield. 2 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left, and into the backfield. It's a big sack for Fernandina Beach. A.J. West able to take him down. That's the middle linebacker getting the job done for the Fernandina Beach Pirates.
Yeah, so when you blitz, either good things happen or bad things happen, and that time it was a good thing. Last time it was a run for a 25-yard touchdown. So, you got to pick your poison, but I think they got to amp it up inside here and really bring the pressure on him and don't give him a chance to throw it. Just try to create lanes.
Ends up being a loss of about 3 yards, setting up 3rd down and 6 now from the 15. Lee under center, 2 wide receivers right, 1 to the left, tight end on the left side as well. Barksdale in the backfield. That's where it goes. Barksdale moving to his left now, back inside, cutting left and right, and in for the first down. He is inside the 5-yard line. They might mark him at the 6 here, right at the 5-yard line. So that'll be a 1st and goal now for the Yulee Hornets. 3.5 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Yep, and then again, they bring the blitz inside and they run the ball outside. Again, that's what happens when you take a shot with the blitzer if you can't get penetration.
So that sets up 1st and goal now for Yulee. They lead already 21-0. Another touchdown here would be big for the Hornets.
I think we'll get a good case of Barksdale on this.
Barksdale in the backfield, about 7 yards behind his quarterback, Kyle Lee, who takes the snap, hands it to Barksdale up the middle, and this time, Fernandina Beach able to hold. Willie Coleman, the linebacker, gets there and pulls Barksdale to the ground. And that's a nice stop there by Fernandina.
Yeah, again, I think they got to take the ball out on the edge. If they're anticipating it, either throwing a slant, quick slants, getting the ball out fast as they're bringing the blitz, giving up the outside flat, or get the ball out on the edge.
So 2.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Yulee threatening to score once again. They are down to the 6-yard line. Here's Kyle Lee under center. This time a fullback for his running back, Barksdale. The snap. Hands it off to Barksdale, going straight up the middle, through some tackles, and into the end zone. Touchdown, Yulee Hornets, as the visitors score once again. That'll make it 27-0 Yulee with 2 minutes and 11 seconds to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, real good block by the guys up front, and the fullback, again, fit up in on the linebacker in there, and he was able to bend that right end back behind there for a touchdown. Real good hard running, leveled off on the backer, extended the ball. Touchdown, Yulee.
That brings in Gabe Shiver for the extra point, and Coach Yulee's got to be feeling pretty good about where they're at right now. They lead by 4 touchdowns, 2 minutes to go in the third quarter, and really doing a good job of running this clock out as the extra point is good. 28-0.
No good.
Oh, they're going to say no good. Excuse me. No good is the extra point. 27-0 is your score for the Yulee Hornets. We're going to take a quick timeout. We'll be right back with more on your ESPN 690 Game of the Week.
Really thinking that he might go to the Clippers just because we weren't hearing anything about the Clippers, and real G's move in silence, and Kawhi Leonard isn't G.
Put it on the poll, Guillermo. Do real G's move in silence?
The Dan Le Batard Show with Stu Gatz. Weekdays from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on ESPN 690.
Honda of the Avenues is Sing Zeros. 0 down payment, 0 first payment, and 0 security deposit this month. Sign and drive a new Accord LX for just $269 a month with 0 do-it signing. Or buy with 0% financing at Honda of the Avenues, the Honda Giant.
2019 Accord LX, $269 a month for 36 months, plus tax, title, and registration, with approved credit through AHFC. Lessee's responsible for 15 cents per mile over 12,000 miles per year. 0% for 24 to 60 months on all 2019 Accords. 5% down, plus tax, tag, and fees. Valid on in-stock units only. See dealer for details. Offers end 9/3/2019.
Welcome back to your ESPN 690 Game of the Week, brought to you by one of our many fine sponsors, Chubby Wings. Bring the family on Mondays to the Fleming Island location. 50-cent wings. Tuesdays at the West Side location is all-you-can-eat wings. What is better than all-you-can-eat?
On Monday?
On Tuesdays.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
All right,
Tuesdays
I
at the
like
West Side location. By the way, try the Maple Cajun or maybe the Johnny-style wings. Chub it up at Mr. Chubby's Wings. That initial kickoff there, we're going to bring it back.
We'll eat some wings in the Sullivan family, I can tell you that.
Well, it's just me and the Weber family, but I can tell you the Weber family probably eats for about a family of 3 or 4 when it comes to wings.
Only when Dad's buying with the kids show up.
Ah, there you go.
You know how that is.
Oh, yeah. I make other people like Brent Martineau buy me food all the time. It's a beautiful thing.
Hey, you're just like one of the kids.
That's it. That is it. So the fans here getting excited, at least on the visitor side, as it's 27-0 for Yulee. We'll try this kickoff once again as Gabe Shiver gets set to kick it deep to the duo of Chase Boyd and Cam Miller. And it'll be Boyd receiving at his own 5 on the far side of the field. Finds a nice lane, hits it with a lot of speed, able to get all the way up to about the 28-yard line. Nice return there of about 23 for Chase Boyd. Sets up the offense on their own 28-yard line.
Anton Peavy running downfield, number 19, making the tackle right there. Junior 6'2", contributing on special teams.
So, Coach, as a person who is a shooter at a lot of these games, I record video at a lot of these. the extra point missed to make it 27-0 is one of the worst things we could possibly see.
Right, exactly. And as the coach on the up 27, it's the worst thing because when the clock goes to 35 and it's running, you know you got the W in your pocket.
That's it. So we'll see if they decide to go for 2 here in a little bit if Yulee is able to find their way back into the end zone. Under 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Cam Miller in the backfield. A late handoff there to Chase Boyd, who already had some defenders in his face by the time he was able to start running. Late flags coming in. I did see a helmet flying on the far side of the field. So we'll see if maybe there was a face mask involved. Boyd did pick up. They're going to say he lost a yard on that run out to the right side.
I'll tell you who was in there hustling. 65 was in there hustling. It looks like one of the defensive linemen, Cameron Jordan, nose guard.
All right, so they're going to call it offsetting penalties, and we're going to do it all over again.
I'll tell you, that was a good hustle by the nose guard. Got off the block and chased it down from the backside, and then they said they got a horse collar, and then would they have a late hit in the back was offset?
Yeah, that was a late handoff. Is that more by design, or you think that's just kind of a?
I think they were running draw.
Okay.
It looked like draw on that side.
All right, so we'll see where they go on this play. It's now still 1st and 10 after those offsetting penalties. In the shotgun, here's Miller, keeps it himself, coming around to the near side, and he's got some room. Nice pickup. Bit of a block there by 34. That's A.J. West in there on the block. It's a nice gain of about 16, and we got some late pushing and shoving. Here comes a flag, and we'll see what gets assessed here after a little pushing and shoving after the play. We said it's a rivalry game. You know the Fernandina Beach sideline is not happy about it being 27-0 right now. Here is the call from our head referee. They're going to say personal foul on the defense, so tack another 15 on top of it. You have a look as though it might have been more than just the defense on that play.
Yeah, I think it might have been on the quarterback. Jumped up, got in his face a little bit, but you got to walk away. The defensive guys, they're always going to call a defense guy, especially when it's 27-0.
Always going to call it on the second person as well.
Yes, without a doubt.
So kids, if you're watching, don't be the second person. So the clock continues to run. Now we're under 90 seconds to go in this third quarter, and onto the other side of the field goes Fernandina Beach, including their quarterback, Cam Miller, in the shotgun. He's got Chase Boyd out to his right, 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. The handoff is to Boyd. He goes to the left side near the numbers. Here he comes towards the sideline. Nice gainer there. Goes out of bounds about the 25-yard line. That's a pickup of 17 yards for Chase Boyd and a first down, Fernandina Beach.
Yeah, that was a good run right there. Got on the edge. Nice job by the tackle, hooking the defensive end. And, again, first down, moving in chains.
All right, we get a timeout by Yulee. They're going to talk it over on defense. I'm sure Coach Flagler wants his guys to be in the right place and be ready to go. This is a good sign of offense here from Fernandina Beach. And like we said, get Chase Boyd a little bit more involved. Yep. It takes away the predictability of Cam Miller running it himself and gives that Yulee defense something else to think about.
Well, the thing, too, is the Fernandina kids aren't packing it in just because it's 27-0. They're still trying to get on the scoreboard. They're still fighting. And so you got to give them some credit. But, again, that's what we talked about at halftime, trying to get Cam Miller a little bit more involved in the game.
Of course, Cam Miller in there as quarterback. This is his first game as the starting quarterback after an injury to their guy Mock in the first game of the season, a loss against Keystone Heights. Fernandina Beach trying to get it back going against Yulee. Yulee also coming off a defeat in their opening game of the season when they fell to St. Augustine. So we reset here. Minute and 1 second to go in the third quarter. The Fernandina Beach Pirates on the near hash and going right to left. It is Cam Miller in the backfield. 2 receivers on each side and Chase Boyd to his left. Fakes the handoff, drops back, pressure coming, able to get it away, and it's caught. What a catch there by Demarion Bryan. Picks it up at about the 6-yard line, and folks, Cam Miller took a lick on that one. I believe it was 24. Kalik Alberti, who was coming after him.
Yeah, he drilled him as he threw the ball.
Made a lot of plays in this game, Kalik Alberti has, and they're able to get into the backfield once again. But just in the nick of time, Cam Miller gets rid of it for the big first down, setting up now a first and goal from the 8-yard line with 43 seconds to go in the third quarter.
Finally give the fans something to cheer for this half.
That's right. They're set up on the far side of the field. 2 receivers to the near side, 2 on the far side as well. Going with that 4 receiver look once again. Here is the fake Doesn't hand it off to Boyd instead. Miller runs around to the right side. Nice job of grabbing some jersey there by the Yulee defender and able to force him out of bounds, as it looks like that was Alberti once again getting in on the play. It'll be a gain of about 4 or 5 yards, but still, 2nd and goal now for Fernandina Beach.
Yeah, Alberti's been really active tonight. Really, really active over there. I'm real impressed with the sophomore. Getting some good time today and getting some good plays. They've done a good job. The backers, the backside guys have done a good job. So we'll see if Fernandina gets something going. It looks like the crowd's starting to get into it a little bit, and maybe get something here and getting on a scoreboard.
All right, 24 seconds to go in this 3rd quarter. Miller in a close set with Boyd. Here is the fake handoff. Now back to the left, back into the middle. It goes Miller. He's got some space, and he's got the touchdown into the end zone. Cam Miller. Fernandina Beach is on the board for the first time tonight.
Yeah, they needed that one. No matter what happens in the final score, they came back down, and they didn't pack it in. They kept fighting. The kids should be proud right there. Now we might have a good 4th quarter if they can get a 3-and-out stop, get a little momentum.
And perhaps the moment the Cannons have been waiting for this entire time, finally a chance to blast those off the pirate ship out there in the south end zone. So Fernandina Beach finds the end zone for the first time. It is their talented signal caller, Cam Miller, getting the job done. Phil Tita in for the extra point. The kick is up, and it is good. So with 17 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter, Fernandina Beach gets on the board on a Cam Miller 3-yard touchdown run to cut into the lead. It's now 27-7 in favor of the Yulee Hornets.
Yeah, I'll tell you, this is that's a good drive for them. Come back and answer again, 27-0. Are you going to pack it in, or are you going to come back and have your kid, hey, we're going to keep playing, we got to keep going. And then they get a couple positive things. Cam Mills over, get it in the end zone, kick the extra point. Hey, 27-7, still in the 3rd quarter, about 17 seconds left.
And the way this game's been going, you never know. A big turnover here or there could turn this thing around very quickly.
I'm curious if he'll go onside here.
Not a bad time to try. You got nothing to lose, right? That's it.
When you're going to lose some field position, but you're down 20. I mean, you don't have a lot of time. The clock's not your friend.
That's
so
right.
We'll see if they draw it up and go in there. They got a couple good different guys in here. Brooks Roan, the 9th grader right there, running down on kickoff. A couple of the starters are on there also. And we'll see what we get here.
You mentioned it, nothing to lose. I had a conversation with Coach Bettinger from Wolfson after that game that they picked up the win in, and that's what he was saying. I mean, they had a 4th and 20 in the 4th quarter, and he went for it, picked up 21 because nothing to lose.
Right.
Needing to run the clock out, and that's exactly what they were able to do. So it will be Phil Tito once again, the junior for Fernandina Beach. We'll see if he decides to kick it deep. They did have some adjustments there in the lineup. Short approach. Yep. He does kick it deep. Goes all the way to the 15-yard line where it's gathered in by the Yulee Hornets, and Barksdale gets it all the way to the 38-yard line. Actually, that's number 6, excuse me. Number 6 for the Yulee Hornets, Jalen Holmes.
Yeah, Jalen needed to wait just a little bit longer to let those guys get on their block. He tried to beat his own guys getting into the wedge, and but not a bad return. I'm not going to say we should have onside kick there, but, we'll see what they get. They've got to get a stop here. They can't give up a drive and eat up some clock. They've got to get them 3 and out and go.
And that's exactly what Yulee is going to want to do. 12 seconds to go here in this 3rd quarter. Yulee with the ball on its own 37-yard line. It remains Kyle Lee in the ball game. We'll be able to find out pretty quick whether or not they're going the quarter by quarter for the quarterbacks here in a second. Barksdale in the backfield. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Tight end on the right side. It's a pass out to the outside.
Screen.
Little bubble screen. 1 man out there to block. Able to get that block and pick up a nice gain is number 6. That is once again Jalen Holmes, the kickoff return man, and the clock will run all the way to the end of the quarter as 3 quarters are in the books. 27-7 is your score. Yulee, let's take a quick timeout here on ESPN 690 and our game of the week.
It's time to let go.
Duke, Alabama, neutral site. I cannot wait.
I think it's time to let go.
Coverage begins Saturday at 2:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ABC. Presented by Dr. Pepper.
Honda of the Avenues is Sing Zeros. Zero down payment, zero first payment, and zero security deposit. This month, sign and drive a new Accord LX for just $269 a month with zero do-it signing. Or buy with 0% financing at Honda of the Avenues, the Honda Giant.
2019 Accord LX, $269 a month for 36 months, plus tax, title, and registration, with approved credit through AHFC. Lessee's responsible for 15 cents per mile over 12,000 miles per year. 0% for 24 to 60 months on all 2019 Accords. 5% down, plus tax, tag, and fees. Valid on in-stock units only. See dealer for details. Offers end 9/3/2019.
Welcome back to our ESPN 690 Game of the Week, as the Yulee Hornets are taking on the Fernandina Pirates from Fernandina Beach. Yulee with the ball. Kyle Lee in at quarterback in the shotgun, passes it out to the outside. Another little bubble screen. This one goes outside to Clayton Walden, and he is taken down after a gain of about 4. That's number 9 on the defense for Fernandina Beach, able to make that stop.
Yeah, it looks like they've substituted a couple guys to get a couple of those older guys, the two-way guys, resting. They just brought in
Jeremiah Guidry there on the stop.
Yep, Jeremiah did a nice job running too, but again, Yulee sort of just nickel and diming on the little quick stuff and trying to keep them, maybe anticipating a blitz, get the ball out on the perimeter fast.
Gained 4 on that little screen. Interesting to see Yulee start to throw it a little bit, maybe test some things out. But at the same time, high percentage throws to where you have a good feeling the clock's going to continue to run. Lee under center. Here's a handoff to Barksdale. Up the middle he goes. Ankle tackle there by one of the big guys in the middle for Fernandina Beach. And stops him after a gain of about 4. That's A.J. West, the middle
West
linebacker.
Was in there, blitzed up there and then sort of body leaned and got him by the legs and stuff. So that was pretty good sportsmanship there, too. The guy, again, these kids know each other. They played with each other. They're just trying to get, again, both of them working, trying to build their programs back.
Now the gain of 3 sets up a 3rd down and 3. Big 3rd down here for Yulee, but maybe more importantly, big for Fernandina Beach on defense if they want to get a chance to get this ball back with a lot of time. Only 10.5 minutes to go here in the ball game, as Kyle Lee is under center. A fullback and a running back in the backfield, wide receivers on each side, as it is going to go to his running back, and he is met in the backfield. What a stop there by Fernandina Beach. Great job, number 75. 75 for the defense coming in and making a play. Bernie Coleman, the freshman.
Yep.
That sets up a 4th down now, and Yulee, good chance they're going to go for it here. 4th and about 7 yards is going to be the play with just over 10 minutes to go in this ball game. They lead by 20.
It's a big play for Fernandina. They can get a stop, get the ball in good position. Maybe get something here going a little bit.
Pirates defense has really come alive here the last few drives. So we'll see if they're able to come up with a big 4th and 7 stop, as Lee is in the shotgun, has a running back to his left, drops back to pass, going deep. It is caught. That is Clayton Walden out to the outside, cuts back and walks it into the end zone. Touchdown, Yulee. What a play by the wide receiver for the Yulee Hornets.
Yeah, I tell you what, that was a really good ball thrown. He got hit as he let it go, but Walden, real good body control. I'll tell you what, I'm really impressed with him. Coach bragged on him and said he's just one of those guys, comes in and works. He's not going to run 4 or 5, but he's going to get open. He's going to catch the ball. That's what you want in high school.
So I guess to wear that number 1 jersey.
Yes, sir.
It's a beautiful thing in high school sports when you're number 1.
When you're number 1. We used to make our quarterback wear number 1.
Okay.
So it wasn't a debate.
No confusion?
No, it wasn't a debate. We started doing that when I was at Jackson and carried down Atlantic Coast. But
nice win tonight, by the way, for Jackson. They take down Stanton 29-16, one of your former schools, as Gabe Shiver's extra point is up. And it is good, making it 34-7 in favor of the visiting Yulee Hornets over the Fernandina Beach Pirates. Yulee now up 34-7 with 9:34 to play in the ball game.
Well, again, Yulee did a good job there. They mixed a little bit more pass in there, but again, I think it caught them by surprise. They were in man coverage, brought a little blitz, and I'll tell you what, Walden did a nice job catching a ball down the seam, made a good catch, got in the end zone.
Some more scores from around the area. The St. Augustine Yellow Jackets now up 21-0 on Menendez. 4 minutes left in the third quarter. Mandarin Mustangs up 24-6 midway through the third quarter of that game against the Ribault Trojans. Third quarter water break. Columbia still hanging on to that 1-point lead over Oakley, 14-13. That's a heck of a ball game there. Ponte Vedra leading their matchup 17-0. Our own Marcel Robinson getting out to Baldwin, where the Indians currently leading Bradford 8-0. We'll have post-game reaction from that on the Friday Night Blitz. That's tonight at 10:30 on Fox 30, 11:15 on CBS 47 and Fox 30. Out in Clay County, Orange Park leading Middleburg 16-8. 16-8, so still a one-possession game there as Orange Park and Coach McPherson lead over the Middleburg Broncos. So here is the kickoff for Gabe Shiver. And he's going to do a little pooch kick. Comes up to number 6 and loses it for a second, does Ernest Cortez. Fans not happy about that late kind of tackle in there, and I don't think Fernandina Beach is either. But it will be Fernandina ball at their own 30-yard line as they start this offensive possession.
Yeah, I think that should have been a penalty. Yeah, he was on the ball with it, came in and sort of drilled him. Should have been a spearing, truthfully. But I guess not.
So no call there. So it'll be the Fernandina Beach offense now that takes over. They're down 34-7 here, 9.5 minutes to go in this ball game. But again, even in a loss, you could still pick up some important momentum, some important lessons learned, and a lot that can still be gained here for this offense and this entire team for Fernandina Beach, as it will once again be Cam Miller in the backfield. 2 receivers on each side, and Chase Boyd, the running back, and that's where it goes. The handoff to number 5, Boyd, and he is pulled down by that Yulee defense. Number 40 for the Hornets, able to make that tackle. If I'm reading that number right, that looks like a 40, but I don't have a 40 on the roster.
No, it was 40. Oh.
And we got a late flag here for some talking. Looks like Kalik Alberti there was the one who drew the ire of the officials. Not exactly sure what happened, but we're going to mark it off as a personal foul, 15 yards, and it'll be an automatic first down for the Fernandina Beach Pirates as they move the ball all the way to their own 45.
Yeah, no need to say anything to the official, no need to talk. Just go play the game and be done with it. Officials don't want it. They're not going to let it get out of hand, let you run your mouth any.
Especially in a 27-point game.
Yes, exactly.
So here is Miller in the shotgun, has Boyd to his right. Keeps it himself, evades the tackler, moves to the right side on the near side by the numbers. Finally taken down by 55 for the Yulee Hornets. But that's a nice pickup for the quarterback, Cam Miller.
Yeah, Caden Sweat on that tackle. Nice job. Good hustle for the inside deep tackle.
That's a gain of 7 yards for Fernandina Beach, whose offense has really looked a lot better here in the second half. Ever since that break, they were able to really start to put some things together. Sets up now a second down and about 2 yards for Fernandina Beach. Yulee trying to find a stop here with under 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Cam Miller in the backfield. This time Boyd to his left. Low snap. It's off his hands, but Boyd is able to dive down and fall on it. Very aware work there by the running back, Chase Boyd, to get on that thing before the onslaught of Yulee defenders, including Kalik Alberti, who was all over it.
Yeah, that was a good job right there by Boyd getting on that ball. It went down. That was a good job by that official, doing a good job. I don't know what happened right there, but looks like they're either taking a timeout or they're...
Well, it's 7.5 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter, so we're going to get a referee stoppage here. We're going to take the water break, so we'll take the break with them, and we'll come right back here on our ESPN 690 Game of the Week. 7:29 to play in the ball game. 34-7 is your score. Yulee leading Fernandina Beach. We will be right back on ESPN 690.
Talking to Chris Long, have you at all had any itch about playing again?
I'm not going to lie, I get the itch from time to time. If I ever got an opportunity that was right for me, and I'd look at it.
Go Lick and Wingo, weekdays from 6 to 10 a.m. on ESPN 690.
Honda of the Avenues is Sing Zeros. 0 down payment, 0 first payment, and 0 security deposit. This month, sign and drive a new Accord LX for just $269 a month with 0 do-it signing. Or buy with 0% financing at Honda of the Avenues, the Honda Giant.
2019 Accord LX, $269 a month for 36 months, plus tax, title, and registration. With approved credit through AHFC. Lessees responsible for 15 cents per mile over 12,000 miles per year. 0% for 24 to 60 months on all 2019 Accords. 5% down, plus tax, tag, and fees. Valid on in-stock units only. See dealer for details. Offers end 9/3/2019.
And we're back on our ESPN 690 Game of the Week. Cam Miller moving to his left, pitches it out to Chase Boyd, but he was in just as much trouble out there because there was 3 defenders in the backfield for Yulee, number 45, number 4, and it is that's 8.
That's Wilcox.
Wilcox, who makes that tackle. Playing a little defense out there is number 8, who's already got a couple touchdowns as well tonight.
Yeah, he's an explosive player. You can see him really close on that ball right there. It looked like Boyd was going to have the edge, and he just came out of nowhere and took over and went after it right there.
Not a whole lot that Cam Miller really could have done on that play.
No.
As the clock continues to run down to about 6.5 minutes now in the ball game. Fernandina Beach facing a 4th and 14. So big conversion needed here for the Pirates. Instead, the ball is fumbled. Down to the ground it goes. Miller falls on top of it, but as we mentioned, 4th down play, so the ball goes over on downs to the Yulee Hornets, as Cam Miller never really had a full handle on that one from the snap in the shotgun.
No, he didn't. It looked like he dropped it, just sort of. I don't know if they were going to hand it or if he was play action and coming off that, but it's 4th and 14 again. Guys tried to. He's done as much as he could, getting his first start, and he'll get better as he gets playing, because I think he's going to have to play the rest of the year there. So Coach will do a good job of getting him coached up, and he's got to learn, and he's got to, you just got to keep working. That's all you can do.
Some of these things take time.
Yep.
You don't really have time in the game of football is the problem, because you are right into the next game right away. So Yulee takes over the ball at the Fernandina Beach 35. It will be Kyle Lee, and there's a penalty. We're going to say false start on the Yulee Hornets, and that'll back him up 5 yards to the 40.
Yeah, I thought Coach might just come out and try to run it and run this clock and get out of here, but he still wants to come out and throw it a little bit. He's probably just got a couple things he wants to work on. Maybe there's a guy he hasn't gotten a chance to get the ball to, he wants to get it to. I don't think you're, quote, running the score up, as people would like to say, Coach, you're throwing up by 27, but I think Coach is working his offense, trying to get his guys better as the year goes on.
Yeah, they're not throwing to run the score up, they're throwing to get into some rhythm
right
for future games. As Kyle Lee is once again in the shotgun. Barksdale on his right. He's in trouble. He's getting flushed out of the pocket to the right side. Now he's on the run. On the far side, gets to the sideline and nearly gets back to the original marker.
There was a penalty on that.
Yeah, it looks like it'll be a gain of about 4. We'll see what that was. If it was a penalty over there.
It looked like they threw something.
I think that's the ball being thrown by the backup quarterback. I saw the exact same thing, and I'm like, what is that being thrown over there?
Well, my eyes aren't as good as they used to be.
Sure.
Either.
They got laser surgery for that nowadays, don't they?
Yeah, I already did that.
Oh. Can they do it again?
15 years ago, no. They can't do it again.
One crack is all you get at it, I guess. All right, 5 minutes to go in this ball game. We got a 2nd and 12 now for the Yulee Hornets. They're at the 12-yard line, or 37-yard line, excuse me. Here is Lee. Little handoff to Barksdale. Barksdale going around the left side, but kind of tripped and fell and down in a bit of pain here as he went down on a – kind of looked like he was going down well before the contact came, was Barksdale, and really feeling it there in his right leg is what it looks like. So as the medical staff comes out and takes a look at Kamari Barksdale, the running back for the Yulee Hornets, we're going to take a quick timeout here on ESPN 690, your game of the week between Yulee and Fernandina Beach. With 4 minutes and 44 seconds to go, Yulee leads 34-7. We'll be right back.
Action Sports Jacks with Brent Martineau. Weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m.
I had no idea we were going to draft Blaine Gabbert. All right? Did your jaw just drop?
Yeah, it did. Did you sense the silence?
No idea. In fact, I left to go get something to eat because our pick wasn't for much longer in the draft.
You're supposed to pick 16th, yeah.
On ESPN 690.
I think it's time to let go.
11th ranked Oregon, number 16 Auburn.
I think it's time to let go.
Kickoff is Saturday at 7:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ABC. Presented by Dr. Pepper.
That looks like a cramp, I think. Yeah, because he's grabbing his calf right there. It looks like a cramp, so that's a good sign.
Good sign there for Kamari Barksdale. He's being helped off the field, but
we'll let him cramp up. He's had a few carries
he's
tonight.
had a lot of runs out there, so they'll take him off to the sideline here.
So they'll bring the backup in, who's got 2 touchdowns.
I know, right? It's been a good night for the Yulee rushing attack.
And that was part of the thing coming in. Coach wanted to get back and run it. And, he's got a new scheme he's trying to work on. So he's trying to get his backs to understand how to run it.
Dragati Wilcox, the sophomore, coming back in as your running back. As Kyle Lee. Let's see if he's still in there. Yep,
yeah,
Kyle Lee's still in there at quarterback. Looks like he'll probably run this thing out for the rest of the game. They got Baker some action in the second quarter, and Lee has really gotten most of the snaps at that quarterback position. In the shotgun, to his left is Wilcox. He drops back to pass, looking deep on the far side, and it is caught, and a touchdown for the Yulee Hornets as Yulee gets yet another score and extends their lead over the Fernandina Beach Pirates.
Is that 9, Little John? Those numbers, folks, we apologize, but those numbers are
yellow numbers on white jerseys are just terrible. Shout out to everybody for ever coming up with that idea. Looks like number 21, Zachary Drawdy, is my best estimate from this entire side of the field.
That's what it looked like to me when he was jumping up with the coach, and that's a freshman right there catching that ball.
So another touchdown, and it looks like they're going to go for the extra point, even though 2 points would run the clock. But we got 4 minutes to go in the game, so
right.
It's fine. It's fine. It's all right. 4 minutes and 10 seconds to go where Lee was able to complete that nice long touchdown pass. Here's the kick up, and it is good for Gabe Shiver. Extends the lead to 41-7, a 34-point lead. For those unfamiliar with high school football rules in the state of Florida, 35 is the one you want.
Yeah, that's when everybody starts going TikTok.
That's when it gets rolling, and away you go.
Well, one year we were playing, I don't know who we were playing, but we had the same situation, and I told my holder to catch it, put it down, and take off for the corner. And he did, and he scored, and he comes off, and I'm like making like I'm yelling at him. So it didn't think like we were going for 2.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that's one way to do it.
Yeah, because you line up the kick.
Yeah, you don't want him to think it was your idea.
Right. Then you got to add it up at the end so the coach doesn't get mad at you. He goes, I don't know what he did that for. Sorry, I don't know who that was. I won't say it if I did know who it was.
You know who it was inside your head.
But the greatest feeling is when you get to 35 and they run that clock because you know you won. So,
no doubt.
Nope.
So 41-7 is your score for the Yulee Hornets. I want to remind you, tune in to the Friday Night Blitz, brought to you by Subway Restaurants. That'll be tonight, 10:30 on Fox 30, 11:15 on CBS 47 and Fox 30. We'll have highlights, of course, from this one, our game of the week. Our guy Ryan Kendall down there getting all the good stuff for us, providing some much better video quality than me, occasionally moving a camera up here in the press box. So shout out to Ryan for doing his part down there on the field.
Cortez got
There's a nice little cutback. Cortez to the near side. Only the kicker to stop him. And Shiver. Good job there by Gabe Shiver doing exactly what he needed to do, slowing down Ernest Cortez, who was off to the races. If not for the kicker, gets it all the way to the 36-yard line.
That was a good little stick his foot in the ground and dip back outside, and kicker made a play. I like the kicker.
Made the play. Well, the kicker utilized the 12th man of special teams, the sideline. He used the sideline, pushed him that way, really made Cortez's only way he could go was cut back in, and then he just got in the way, which sometimes is all you got to do on special teams.
Let everybody catch up. That's the main thing.
That's the key, and that's what he did. So nice job there by Gabe Shiver. Not only a good kicker, but also able to knock somebody down. All right, here's Cam Miller taking it out to the right side, avoids a tackle, finally taken down there by 56 for Yulee. As the clock continues to run under 4 minutes, it goes 3 minutes and 38 seconds.
56, Donovan Henry.
Donovan Henry there on the tackle for the Yulee Hornets.
Well, so, they've done a really good job. We got to look to see what we've got going on here. Next week,
Fernandina Beach will be home once again as they've got the Interlochen Rams coming to town. So that will be next week here at Pirate Field. Meanwhile, the Yulee Hornets Oh, they got a good one over at Yulee High School as West Nassau is coming to town. Another in-county battle. As 2nd down and 5 now for the Pirates. Here's Cam Miller, hands it off to number 11. That's Willie Coleman to the near side. Finally pushed out of bounds at the 15-yard line after a pickup of about 15 yards.
Do you know if they have a county championship, like a trophy that goes around?
Kind of like the Gateway Championship?
Yeah, sort of like the county championship where they have, like the rivalry games, whoever wins the rivalry game and whatnot. So.
I know they have the bragging rights.
Yeah, that's big. That'll be a big one next week, those two teams squaring off.
No doubt about it. So 2.5 minutes to go in this game. Yulee on its way to a 1-1 start on the season. They lost last week, but about to pick up their first victory of the year, up 41-7 on their rivals from Fernandina Beach. But the Pirates with a chance to get back in the end zone. Here's Miller, keeps it himself around to the left and taken down. Looks like that was, again, Khalik Alberti doing this job once again. Great game for Khalik Alberti there for the sack, and that'll push the Pirates back. Loss of 8 yards there on the QB sack by Khalik Alberti.
Yeah, Thomas Coleman in on that one, one of the D linemen. In on that play, too. I'm sorry, not Thomas Coleman. Peyton Paulette, another 9th grader, getting a little room in there. So Yulee's been getting their guys in there, substituting them in pretty freely.
Teamwork makes the dream work, Coach.
Most of the time.
Most of the time. 1:40 to go here in this matchup, our ESPN 690 game of the week. Cam Miller dropping back. He's got pressure from both sides, gets to the near side. There's a flag on the play. Throws it to the end zone, but over the heads of Demarion Bryan. Doesn't matter. That's a hold. It's coming back anyways, as that'll be a 10-yard penalty against.
Yeah, they'll probably decline that.
Yeah.
It wouldn't.
Looks like they're not going to. They're gonna enforce it, I think. Yep, back it up because every play runs more time off the clock, and away we go. So 1:29 to go. This thing just about done and dusted. Yulee leading 41-7. Be sure to stick around. Of course, we will have your Lusab Honda of the Avenues post-game drive of the game. We'll also check in on that scoreboard again. Lots of great games going on all around the area, which we will then have highlights of tonight on Fox 30 at 10:30 for the Friday night Blitz, and 11:15 on CBS 47 and Fox 30. And remember, you can always check out those highlights in that show on Facebook. Our Action Sports Jacks Facebook page is the way to go. So, 1:18 to go. Here's Cam Miller in the shotgun, dropping back the pass. Nice job there. Gets it up to Chase Boyd. Beats the blitz. Here comes Boyd to the far side now. He's caught up from behind as it's number 13 for Yulee making the tackle. Jermarius Lampkin able to get the tackle and prevent Boyd from finding the end zone. He looked like he was on his way to 6. But Lampkin able to get there and make the tackle after a nice pickup. Gains most of that penalty yardage back for Fernandina Beach and sets up what will now be a 3rd down at about 17 yards. Looking at the wrong marker. For the home team, Fernandina Beach Pirates. They've got 40 seconds left in this game. We'll see if they maybe take a crack at the end zone here with that time running down on the clock. So 30.
Well, yeah, they got to try to do something here. Try to get in the end zone again. 3rd down.
4th quarter, 30 seconds to go. Just about done. Yulee leading 41-7. Here's Cam Miller rolling out to his right. Tucks it to run. He's trying to get to the end zone to stop the clock. He is taken down instead. Yulee's number 4 on the tackle. That's John Thomas able to make the stop. And the clock will continue to run.
Nope,
but Fernandina Beach going to take a timeout. So they're going to take one more crack at it here with 8.8 seconds to go.
Coach kicking the field goal.
Bringing out the field goal unit.
Yep.
All right, good chance to test it.
Yeah, heck yeah. You got to get it. You got a chance. You got a good kicker. You never know when you're going to need him. So Phil Tita, Jr., he's going to pull it up, and Coach going to pull it out and kick it here. So that's, people will say, why are you doing that, this and that. But, hey, you're trying to get your kids some work, get some points and everything. And, again, we'll see what they're going to do. But it looks like they're lining up the field goal team here to kick it.
Big thanks to some of our sponsors, Mr. Chubby's Wings. You have to try the wings, but Mr. Chubby's has a full menu. Parents, kids, sports teams, this is made for you. It's the American Dream Special, burgers, fries, and a famous Mr. Chubby shake, just $12.99. Big shout out to Mr. Chubby's for supporting high school athletics and our ESPN 690 game of the week. So now the field goal attempt, as this will be about a 33-yarder here for Phil Tita. The snap is down, the kick is up, and it is good. So Phil Tita able to go in there and get the field goal, and that's going to run the clock out. So That's your ball game, folks. 41-10 is your final score. Yulee gets the win over their rivals from Fernandina Beach, 41-10. We'll be right back with your post-game show and your Lou Saab Honda of the Avenues post-game drive of the game. Coming up next right here on ESPN 690.
WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station. Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690, Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio.
Shoelace is a Dolphin. How about that? Denard Robinson joins us on Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Hey, man, this is pretty cool news.
But it's exciting just to be back around football again. So,
Action Sports Jacks, weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. on ESPN 690.
And welcome back to the ESPN 690 game of the week as the Yulee Hornets get a 41-10 victory over the Fernandina Beach Pirates. Coach, time now for your Lou Saab Honda of the Avenues post-game drive of the game.
Well, I think the drive of the game might have been when it was 14-0 and they were moving the ball down there. Well, let me go back. When it was 14-0 and Yulee stopped Fernandina inside the 5 on downs, and then they came back and went and took the play with Wilcox running it in for about 25 yards out right there. So that, to me, was the drive of the game. Sort of put it away 21-0, and they went in from there.
Your Lou Saab Honda of the Avenues drive of the game. Lou Saab Honda of the Avenues, Jacksonville's Honda giant, the Honda dealer that makes you happy. We're going to take a quick time out here. We will be back to wrap up the post-game show coming up next on ESPN 690.
He's saying they thought by sending me to Cleveland, even though they made the best deal clearly for themselves in their mind, you thought that you were sending me to Cleveland, you were sending me to purgatory.
The Stephen A. Smith Show, weekdays from 1 to 3 p.m. on ESPN 690.
Hey everybody, this is Brent Martineau. The Greater Jacksonville Area Cadillac Dealers Action Sports Jacks Dream 18 is just around the corner. September 16th at the Golf Club at Southampton. Thanks to our presenting sponsors as well, the law offices of Ron Scholes and the Players Championship. Your business can still be a part of the event to raise money for St. Michael's Soldiers and North Florida Junior Golf Foundation. Florida Georgia Windows and Doors is challenging local businesses to donate $1,000. Join the $1,000 charity challenge at actionsportsjacksdream18.com.
It may not require a textbook, but it's filled with valuable lessons. It may not take place in a classroom, but it's an ideal environment for learning. It may not involve a diploma, but it can help prepare Florida's young people for life. It's high school sports. High school sports can play a critical role in a student's overall education. In fact, studies show that students that participate in high school sports are more likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in their academic lives. If you think high school sports are only about competition, think again. Better yet, think about attending a high school sporting event in your community. You'll be amazed by what you see. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Florida High School Athletic Association and the Florida Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Welcome back to Fernandina Beach High School, our game of the week as the Yulee Hornets get the victory, improving to 1-1. They win 41-10 over the Fernandina Beach Pirates as Yulee's running back tandem, Jamari Barksdale, just able to run all over that defense, as was Jergati Wilcox. Just a great 1-2 punch there from Yulee, and Fernandina Beach never had an answer.
No, and they sprinkled enough of the pass in there. Real impressed with Walden, the wide receiver from Yulee. Caught everything thrown his way. Really good player, good ball control. But it was a good one. Good plan for Yulee attacking them, But I think Coach got back on what he wanted to do, get on the run game and then be able to mix in the pass with it. So congratulations to Yulee, and it was a good time. Stuart, I enjoyed being up here with you.
Yeah, had a lot of fun. A little change from my running around, shooting highlights on Friday nights. Of course, next week, Brett Martineau will be back, and you guys are heading down to St. Johns County.
It'll be a good one. We'll get another county rival.
Bartram Trail and Creekside in a St. Johns County matchup. Right now, by the way, Creekside trying to come back. They trail Nice 36-28 late in the third quarter. So we'll see if Creekside's able to complete that comeback and go into that matchup against Bartram Trail with a win. All right, that is going to do it for our ESPN 690 Game of the Week. Big thank you to all of our sponsors. Of course, Lou Saab Honda of the Avenues, Chubby Wings with 2 locations, one on the west side and one in Fleming Island, and of course, Baker Sports. So big thanks to all of those. And don't forget, check out the highlights tonight on the Friday Night Blitz at 10:30 on Fox 30.
Good night.
We will see you then. Have a good night, and we'll see you next week.
I just don't know that there was a city that would be really excited about Rick Pitino. What has he accomplished in the pros that would suggest that it's worth taking on all of the baggage that he comes with?
The Dan Le Batard Show with Stugotz. Weekdays from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on ESPN 690.
Truth about timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, CEO and founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare contracts, and in the process started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. Timeshare is the only thing that you can buy that you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check to fill out any amount they want for annual maintenance and assessment fees. Sound crazy? The crazy thing is, this never ends. Even when you die, your family's now going to be stuck with this burden. Stop the insanity today. Call my office now. I guarantee if we can't cancel your timeshare contract, you'll pay nothing.
Call for your free information kit. 800-893-2288. That's 800-893-2288. 800-893-2288.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in Florida. This is sportsmanship. School sports. It's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the Florida High School Athletic Association and the Florida Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps demonstrate their commitment to defend the American way of life.